Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way to rap. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way to rap. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo.
Mic check, mic check. Mic check, 1 2 1 2.
Mic check, 1 2 1 2. Mic check. See, I like how that sound right there. I like that.
Mine didn't sound like that. Did mine sound like that? Mic check, 1 2 1 2. It's Michael Anthony from the 612. Yeah, okay.
Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way to rap. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way to rap. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way to rap. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way to rap. The record's gonna go. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way to rap. The record's gonna go. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way to rap. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way to rap. The record's gonna go. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way to rap. The record's gonna classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way to rap. The record's gonna go. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way to rap. The record's gonna go. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way to rap. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way to rap. The record's gonna go. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way to rap. The record's gonna go. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way to rap. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way to rap. The record's gonna go. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way to rap. The record's gonna classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way to rap. The record's gonna go. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way to rap. The record's gonna go. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo.
Hey, yo, y'all know what it is, man. It is 8:30-ish. Actually, closer to 8:30 than we have been in a long time. So it's time for Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. As you can see, Ask a Cop or Lo is not here today. Angelo had to get out of town on some family stuff. Ask a Cop, we need your prayers because he's going through a little illness. Nothing for y'all to get crazy about. Don't go spread no rumors. But, we still would like to have your prayers. So listen, man, we got a great conversation tonight. I want you to be a part of the conversation. We love to see your comments, but we would rather that you give us a telephone call, 404-500-1605. So we're going to get it moving. As you can see, I have the resident outside, the outside resident of Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. My man Sugar Sean is in the building. How you doing, brother?
Yeah, I'm doing great. I'm inside today. Yeah, I'm inside. Usually I'm on the outside, but right now I'm on the inside. Yeah, I feel delicious. I'm wonderful.
You facing the camera now, right?
It looked different from this angle. Like, I can see myself. Yeah. I see why y'all sit here. Yeah.
How was your week, bro?
Hey, man, my week was wonderful, man. The kids, trying to figure out Christmas shopping. My daughter's coming to me. I think mommy want this. I think we should do that. I'm about to get mommy some. Stop buying mommy stuff she ain't asked for. So I was just like, all right. So I'm just finished figuring that out. And kids is balling and, same old. And the weekend was great because I was here at the Uptown this weekend with my boy Rob Stapleton. And we did our thing on Saturday. It was
missed that. I
3 shows.
Check that out.
We was working on Saturday, man. We had it going, man. That was a good
come
time.
down and see that, bro.
And Daryl, my man Daryl was killing it hosting, so it was a beautiful thing.
Oh
yeah.
Man,
you missed a good show.
I planned on coming to see that, and cold weather, drinks, and college basketball kind of did me in.
Oh man, Joe Claire pulled up too.
Real?
Joe Claire to me, people was just pulling up this weekend. They got a great show, and then, I was there, so they got they got a great show.
Man. Oh wow, that's crazy. I can't believe I missed that, but next time. So to my left, and as you're looking at it to your right, got one of my castmates, man, from Shell of a Man, the stage play, the unscripted stage play. Brother, don't introduce yourself and tell them what you do, a little bit of it, because, you know, at the end of the show, we're going to let you really expound on that.
Okay. Well, I am Michael Anthony. Most people say Miko. This is because I was written out, but it's Michael Anthony. I'm an actor, director, and, you know, I do a little entertainment, like singing, rapping a little bit, you know, so I do a few little things, you know.
Now, I know as y'all listening to Michael speak, you're probably sitting out there thinking, is he a pimp too?
No.
But he actually is not. You know, that's just kind of, you know, how sometimes he takes on those roles in the acting world, and he just kind of carries over sometimes.
Goldie.
Oh yeah. Bruh. I was on set with this guy one time, and he had this scene, and I'm standing over here, you know, doing what I'm supposed to be doing, but I caught myself just staring at him because I was like, yo, who did he just become?
Dolomite.
Hey, I'm just a guy that's quiet in the corner. I could be fibbing about that, but you know.
Until the camera comes, until that red light, that green light pops on, they say action, them things pop. Hey, man, dude is a hell of an actor, I promise you.
I'm in there.
Promise you.
All the way.
And he's on the other side of directing, you know.
Yeah.
So, me, man, my week was great. Tell y'all why. All of my teams won.
Okay.
My Brooklyn Nets are on like a 5-game winning streak.
Go Brooklyn, you know that.
My North Carolina Tar Heels have righted themselves, and they getting their thing the right way, even though they stressed me out this past Saturday. And then the one team that I really didn't expect to be cheering for a lot this year,
Right. The
my
Vikings.
New York Giants.
Oh, I thought you was gonna say the Vikings. My bad. That's my team. My bad. I'm sorry.
Well, you know what? We actually got your team this week.
Well, we gonna see.
We got your team this week. But yeah, man, I had a great week. I could have wore any hat tonight. I'd have been correct. But I decided to just leave them all home, let them rest.
Let them rest tonight.
Let them rest because they was busy this weekend.
He's excited.
All of them, they was busy. The Carolina game, I had to keep changing hats because we was playing bad. So when we play bad, I have to change hats and try and get them to play better. I actually wasn't drinking in the first half. I started drinking at halftime, started playing better, so I kept drinking.
Okay.
I kept drinking. And that's why I wasn't able to come up here Saturday.
You've been drinking.
Yeah.
So you believe in like all superstitious stuff, right?
Yeah, I'm bad with it.
I can tell you. So you keep taking your hats off.
Yeah, I'm bad with it. Certain games, certain jerseys that I pull out. There's a certain jersey that I wore during the 4-game winning streak that I would not wear again until we actually started winning.
Okay, you that thorough.
When we lose and I don't see the game, I take partial blame. I promise you I do.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. But luckily I was able to find a woman that can deal with that. She understood that part of my life.
All right.
So I keep telling y'all, man, if y'all can find somebody to deal with the bullshit in your life, the craziness that you do, because that's crazy when you really think about it. You know, it's what they call sports fanatics.
Yep.
You know, I am a sports fanatic when it comes to my teams, and I found somebody that was able to deal with it. So little relationship quickly with the Classic Konversations. You can find somebody that can deal with your craziness.
There you go.
You gotta stick with them.
Especially as a man.
Cause you know I'm all the way crazy. If y'all can stick with me, anybody can stick with me.
I promise, bro, I can't wait to meet your wife. Yeah, it's gonna be like
She a sweetheart. She love it though.
45-minute conversation, question and answer.
Hey, yo.
So many questions. Like, so when do you do this?
She gonna just look at me to see if she get an answer. I be like, baby, go ahead. She love it. She been with it 24 years. She ain't going nowhere. It'd be boring with somebody else. You change hats, I change people. He walk in the crib. I'm always somebody different. He think y'all be acting. She be like, so who are we today? Is this Sean or Sugar Sean?
Right.
What is it?
Yeah, already.
Sean Coleon.
And then there's Sean Coleon. He came out today. I had to bring out the,
Oh yeah, man.
I had to bring him out.
Yeah. If you had on, a different color shirt, I would have you put that on. Hey, man.
he just styled me. He ain't like my black on black.
Brother came here tonight. We in Atlanta,
Right.
And finally, winter has probably anchored itself
Upon us.
to where we're actually going to have winter nights and days for a couple of weeks straight.
Oh, this is a New York winter. Well, today is New York weather. They got it. Tomorrow's gonna be 15 degrees. Oh, we got an Arctic freeze coming. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if it's a New York one.
When you get 15 degrees, that's New York. That's cold, brother. That's when you got to put Vaseline on your face.
I can deal with a New York winter.
Yeah.
Y'all just don't want the Minnesota winters.
No, I don't want that.
I don't
I'm
want
talking
none.
about 54 below.
I want no Chicago, no Minnesota, no Cleveland. I don't want none of that.
Me either. That's why I'm down here in the A.
I will say that when people say, "Man, y'all don't know cold." I'm from Chicago. I say, you know what? We showed up. I do not argue with them. That's a different cold.
We ain't never gonna know that cold.
I'll take what I got. Man, boy, you came out with it, boy. He was waiting on this weather to drop. He came out with it.
Anything under 30, I got to put them on.
Hey, man, he got bare up. Hey,
He took for a walk today.
Took him for a walk, fed it and all that. You still see the bones in the coat. This joint's serious.
Right. It's serious.
this ain't no toy back here.
Hey, you ain't doing nothing unless your coat got spine in it.
It got a spine. You see the spine? Like we got a spine in it right here.
Yeah.
So again, listen, people, man, I want y'all to be a part of this conversation. Please give us a telephone call at 404-500-1605. And we're going to get it moving. We're going to get it popping, going right on into this conversation we're going to have. And actually, I was speaking to my man, Michael. We was talking about some things that we're going to do in our play, The Shell of a Man. And I asked him, say, hey, man, why don't you come up to the show? You have a topic? He was like, yeah, man, I got one. So, he basically said, know yourself, And it's something that I've always spoken. I do a thing called a Classic Man's Belief on my social media. And one of the things that I've always said each year is know yourself before you present yourself. Mm-hmm. And of course, a lot of people want to take that and put it into the relationship context of it. But actually, when you think about it, that's used in life, period.
Right.
You present yourself at all times, so you have to know who you are as you present yourself. Mm-hmm. But a couple of questions, that I had, and we're going to go through these.
You brought notes for real.
Oh, yeah, for real.
You typed that.
I typed it. After this, you may not be able to read nothing that I write.
You had like a typewriter, or you did it on the... This joint came out of typewriter. You see this joint? Ching, ching, ching.
You know what? I need to buy me one of those.
Right? Look like a typewriter.
I have a nostalgia soul.
Yo.
And right now, I am building my speakeasy room. So you might have to give me a little
He
typewriter.
get you a typewriter.
You know what I'm saying?
My mom's had when it came in a briefcase.
Right.
Yeah, and you open the briefcase up and you had a typewriter.
Yeah.
And it had real ink.
You might have to find me one of those in one of these pawn shops or something. So basically what we're talking about is how well do you know yourself? Do you know yourself well enough to admit your weaknesses? Are you able to accept criticism from friends? Mm-hmm. Do you actually know why you're here? Actually knowing what you desire and not being ashamed to actually admit it. Go ahead with it, bro.
That's
Anything.
That's a whole lot right there.
That's a loaded question.
You deal with a whole bunch because the first thing is beginning to know who you are. You have to be honest with yourself. It's crazy how many people lie to themselves. People out here, they actually lie to themselves and believe their own lies.
Yes.
So it's hard for you to be true to yourself and who you are if you're lying to yourself. So the first stop is being honest with the person in the mirror and not curb a lot of foolishness that you get yourself into. You know what I mean?
And again, that was what you said in regards to people out here lying to themselves, or even if they're not lying to themselves, they're telling other people so many lies that they actually become the lie.
Right.
Yeah.
But when you say lying to yourself, let's elaborate on that. 'Cause that's a good one. Because people, it depends on what you mean when you say lying to yourself. What's lying to yourself?
Lying to yourself. One is
How would you lie to yourself?
Shoot, I don't want to lie to myself.
All right, so what's lying?
But I've done before. You know, I thought I was a real thug for a long time.
Right.
I realized I was just a studio gangster.
Right.
Because when times got tough, I was somewhere else. Like, oh, you know what? I got a girl hit me up. I go holler at her. You already know I got it. You know.
Yeah.
And I'll be at the house going to sleep.
Yeah,
Everybody else do
yeah.
some foolishness. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm presenting something that I really wasn't.
Okay.
I really wasn't that thug in the street. That wasn't really me.
Right.
And because I was trying to perpetrate that image.
Okay.
See, when you putting up an image that really ain't you, you're lying to yourself.
Ah,
You're
like
playing
that.
yourself. And I was putting up an image that I was a thug and all that stuff, but I really wasn't.
Right.
And what I did is put myself in a position to regret my high school years because I really like to play football.
That's it.
And I was too busy trying to be cool with people in the street because they thought I was cool because I was doing what they thought was cool.
Right. Playing football.
No, being in the street.
Oh, they thought that was cool?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I thought that was cool because they thought it was cool.
Okay.
And I didn't go on my own dream to go try to play some football. Now, I probably could have been in the NFL. You
Right.
let me tell it.
Right.
Now, I could be lying right there, but I don't
No,
know.
yeah, I'm just saying. Now, that's a good one that you said. Is that line yourself? You said you could have been in the NFL? There's nothing wrong with that.
But I would never know.
Right.
Because I
Right.
chose to put on the image instead of seeing who I really was.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think, going on what you're, asking about that, I think it's more of, not, in my eyes, it's not lying to yourself. It's lying so much to other people
Right.
that you start believing a lie.
Right.
I did that.
Okay.
And it's easy to do when you're younger.
Heck yeah.
So, like, how did you do that? What's an example of that?
I'll give you one that's kind of funny. When I was in the military, one of the lines I used to use to get money from females, I would tell them that I had a kid. I was in Germany.
Yeah.
And my kid lived in D.C.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't meet a lot of people from D.C., so I figured I could get away with that. So I used D.C. instead of New York or North Carolina. I used D.C.
Right.
And the crazy thing is they actually fell for it because I was saying things like something happened, he fell and cracked his tooth, and I needed some money to send home
Yeah.
for his dental work.
Okay.
But I'm in the military.
Right.
He's my dependent. That
You're
work
right.
will be taken care of.
Right.
But they believed it, so it had me actually believing it for a minute. I actually, for a moment, thought that I was a father.
Of a child.
Yeah.
So you was giving yourself child support and paying it and then come to your house? You nearly
I
did.
wasn't doing that. My child support basically was what I was getting. And I mean, it worked a lot, bro.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I mean, other than that, there was a lot of different things, especially when you're in the military. You speak of your life before the military because nobody can verify stuff unless they actually grew up with you.
Right.
Right.
So, I told some things. I was a valedictorian. I told that I had some collegiate offers to some schools that I didn't.
Right.
I did have some offers, but I expounded on those and made them to the Michigans and the UCLAs and all that type stuff.
Right.
And again, I was telling them lies so much to where I found myself in an argument with people on the football field or on the basketball court saying that, I was supposed to be in Westwood hooping, UCLA. I didn't get no offer from UCLA. I was 5'10".
Yeah.
Playing the center.
Yeah.
I found myself actually believing, and that did help my confidence.
Yeah.
But I as you get older, of course, you start recognizing who you actually are, and you don't have to do those type of things. You can actually talk about who you actually are and live on it.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, because
I think it's interesting, you know what I'm saying? Because I hear that all the time. Like people say, like lying to yourself or lying, it's like, I always wanted to know what that really means. Like what I'm hearing from y'all, like even what you said, I mean, most of us all did that. Tell girls something different. I used to tell them my name was Dexter Worthington when I go to Vegas and tell them I was a neurosurgeon.
Did you actually start believing it?
When I was in Vegas, I believed every moment of it.
every moment in
Yeah.
Vegas. Hey, when in Vegas.
We in Vegas. I Dexter Worthington did. I had all kinds of stuff. back then the phones wasn't as advanced as they was. But if I had a phone call, I'm like, I got to take this. It's the office.
My goodness.
But is that like a bad lie to yourself though?
It wasn't. Well, it was because you was actually doing it to deceive somebody else. But it wasn't if you didn't actually start believing it.
Nah, after I got on the plane, I just laughed at it.
Right.
See, that's what I'm saying. I actually,
But the name,
I
though.
really feel that I actually started believing. Oh, I had a couple of names in my young days.
Yeah.
I had a couple of different names.
Yeah.
You know, I even tried to walk around with a Jamaican accent. It was horrible.
Shucks. Look,
You just said you was here for a long time.
But it worked. My favorite thing
Well,
to
go
say
on.
was instead of
Let me hear the accent.
I would say vegetables.
What? That's not.
I heard that one time and I rolled with it.
What was it?
Vegetables.
That wasn't
Every time I said
Jamaican.
it, I was confirmed. I was confirmed that I had family from St. Croix.
But what happened? What you supposed to be from Jamaica? Where's St. Croix coming from?
You had to add something.
You added something. See,
Everybody was from Jamaica.
so you from St. Croix?
Yeah, I found me an island.
I got vegetables.
Vegetables.
Well, look, if I say with the accent, it sound.
That's
I mean, I have vegetables, but yeah, vegetables.
Yeah.
That's funny.
No, but I just find it interesting every time I hear people say that, like lying to yourself or whatever case may be. You know, I don't know. Have I really lied to myself? No. You know, I don't think it's like really lying to yourself. I feel like, you know, when it goes into the whole thing about who are you, right? And I feel like you always got to put your best foot forward of who you really are, because if you lying, it's going to come out. So I always really believe that. Like, you always got to be real with people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And for me, that's just how I try to live when you just talk about me. You know what I mean?
And I also think, as you grow, you recognize who you're not.
Absolutely.
A lot of people say, you need to recognize your strengths. I've always said you need to recognize your weaknesses so that then you can actually identify your strengths.
Yeah, that's
Because
good
if you
too.
know you're weak at this, there's something else that you're strong at that can actually help whatever situation you're facing or that type of deal. So I've always dealt with,
Well, see, you were in the mode of discovering who you were. You know what I mean? You have a lot of these young folks out here that they're very emotional. They fighting, they killing each other and all that stuff, all to perpetrate the ideal of what they think a real thug is or being real is. But they're really living up to the ideal of what other people think it is.
Right? I agree.
You know what I mean? That's a lie within itself because you're not really being truly you.
Right.
And again, I wonder, we always like to say younger people, but I'm here to bring up an example of somebody that's not young, something that just was in the news. But as a younger person, they're actually following different things that's presented to them.
Yeah.
Right. Young people, let's face it, they're going to follow what they see or they're attracted to.
Right.
And it's just a matter of having the right person around them to say, nah, that's not what you need to follow. You need to follow this instead of following that. But of course, if you don't have that person around you, you're just going to pick whichever one you want to pick. Sometimes it might be right. A lot of times that's what we're seeing in the world today.
Right.
A lot of it is wrong. But, I don't even know if that's, as a younger person, if that's lying to themselves because they don't know who they are yet. And they're basically following. Let's face it, bro. There's people I'm still learning new things about myself to this day.
Every day.
The lesson don't stop until you gone.
I just saw the guy get arrested, former NFL player, Dwayne, what's his name? I can't think of his name right now. Used to play for the New England Patriots.
They all get arrested. So
he's on video.
Nah, that's old. Hernandez.
Willie McGinnis.
Oh, that's old. Back in the day.
He actually just walked into a club. What did you say?
That's back in the day.
Oh, no.
Oh.
You just did this last night.
No, I mean Willie McGinnis. Didn't he
so
play back in the day?
Yeah, I would say he retired. He was back when the Patriots was the shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
But he actually walked into a club. He actually had a dude walking in front of him. He's 51. Let's start off with that. He's 51. And he done some stuff that you would see 20-something-year-olds do usually. Walked into a club. I don't know if it was a club. Looked like a dinner spot. He walked in. There was a guy walking in front of him as if he wasn't with him.
Right.
He stopped, started talking to a dude. As the dude was getting up, Willie stole him. And then the dude that was walking in front of him snuck him from behind. And Willie actually had on like some tight white jeans
Yeah.
with no belt, and they were sagging.
Okay.
He's 51 years old. He's 6'5", 258 pounds.
Well,
I mean, does he? You think about it. He's still learning who he is.
right.
Well, maybe that's who he is,
And this shows that, well,
right? That might be who he is because we can't
Instead of
just
being
because
the
it's
guy with the suits on. And,
right. Maybe sometimes there's some people that's just who they are. You know, you got older uncles that just won't wear a suit. They come to the funeral,
Or-
they wearing wife beat, t-shirt or something,
Or you got some people that's stuck in a time period that was the best time of their life,
and they won't leave.
and they won't leave. Like, I know cats that still got a Jerry curl today.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, you was living back in the 80s.
But you know what's so interesting about what y'all said? I got something else to add to that. Sometimes people will make you feel like you lying to yourself because they want you to be something else.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then you got to question that. When you ever just question yourself and you be like, damn, what am I doing wrong? What's going on? And you saying to yourself like, am I lying to myself for real? Because just because they don't believe it don't mean that you lying to yourself.
Yeah.
So sometimes you got to actually reassure yourself
Right.
that like, nah,
Yeah.
that ain't right. You know?
Yeah. Sometimes that happens when you're dealing with someone who's very manipulative.
That guy, yes.
So I guess the question wouldn't be, are you lying to yourself? It's basically, do you know yourself?
That's a fact.
Because you can't lie to yourself if you don't know any different.
That's a fact.
So listen, we're going to get back into this, man. We got a couple other questions we're going to get into. But y'all give us about 5 minutes. We'll be right back, y'all. We expanding now. We're Spotifying, so we got to have these commercials.
Yeah.
All right.
Be right back. Classic Conversations, Jae Tea and Lo.
Yeah, but when you sit down, what do you think about it?
Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way to rap. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is going. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way to rap. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way to rap. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. It's Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. It's Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way to rap. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. It's Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. It's Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way to rap. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. It's Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. It's Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way to rap. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. It's Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. It's Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way to rap. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric.
All right, y'all, we back. Sorry for, I think we went about 6 or 7 minutes because the conversation kept going. We almost forgot that we was actually doing a show. So, yeah, Classic Conversation with Jae Tea and Lo, 404-500-1605. Please give us a call, be a part of the conversation, give us some comments, let us know what you're thinking about this thing. What we were basically just talking about during our break. Talking about the gang affiliations with kids. You got that microphone, Dwayne? All right, go ahead and ask that question that you asked earlier.
The question is more towards knowing yourself. Today's society and the teenager and young adult of today, seem to be joining gangs at a abnormally large rate, even when they have structure in the home of mother, father, or even if, let's say, their mother and father may not even be in the home, but they know their mother and father and have a relationship with them, yet they're still turning towards gangs. Now, when I first became aware of gangs, it was more for protection,
right,
within schools or neighborhoods.
Yeah.
But now it's turned into the good thing to do in order to be in the entertainment industry, or in order to rank, or get stripes or whatever they call it now, in order to progress in being a gangster or
status.
Whatever it is, status. So I'm just wondering why and how, with role models in these people's lives, do we continue to have these alarming number of people joining gangs, even
right,
suburban gangs? You know what I'm saying? So,
well, like today, it's so much more glorified. Like, that's the thing to do. So we're in this everything. We're in the online society. So everything, social media this, social media this and that. So that's really glorified. Like, this is the thing to do, and they big up that. And most people don't even understand that gangs started as a response to crime against people of color from white folks. Like, when you look out in California, you had the spook hunters and all these different white gangs, and they were only formed just to keep black people out of the parks or out of their side of the neighborhood. But their side of the neighborhood had the parks, had the community swimming pool and all that stuff. And so the black people got together and formed clubs so they can have protection when they go on that side of town just to enjoy themselves, And then you have the same thing in Chicago. And it started to bring the community together so we can have something for ourselves. And then what happens, you have the government come in and exploit the gangs and use them for political gains. Like Nixon had to use, was it Jeff Ford? I might have that wrong, but the last name is right. The guy who started the Vice Lords. Had him talk to all of his people to have them go and start voting to get Nixon in office. You know what I'm saying? And then from there, once they use you, then they take all the resources out, and they already know what happens then, because they already did the study over in other places. I don't want to say the big name, because Kanye's getting in trouble for it.
You can say it.
The Jews. They started that with the concentration camps and the ghettos over there. You take resources out, you're going to have issues in those neighborhoods. They understand that, you know what I'm saying? And they do that purposely over here. They keep us where we are. They keep us poor. They try to keep us poor, keep us without. Even when it comes down to the food, they do all of that. But I don't want to stray too far. What was you about to say?
Oh, you know, it was a loaded question, right? Because he did start off with saying he was listening to guys talking about, you know, the Young Thug situation, all this other stuff, and my thing is this, right? The problem is that as an adult, you engaging in that conversation. You get what I'm saying? It's like once you engage in certain conversations, you already lowered your value. You get what I'm saying? So with the whole gang situation, America always had gangs. It's built on gangs. Like all the Italian stuff and all of that, that's who we get it from.
Yeah.
You know, the mafia families, all. If you grow up in any of these metropolitan areas, if you grew up in Chicago, you grew up in New York, you know, any of these places, it's the Italian dudes. Like they show you, you know, and that culture is part of the Black American culture too. Like the gangs used to be more like crews. You know, they calling everybody gang. It's not, everybody wasn't just a blood or a crip or nothing. Like growing up in the neighborhood, y'all lived on this block. It's about 50 of us over here. This our block. We chilling, we rolling together in case something happened because you're in the jungle. Right. So it's all of y'all together. Yeah. You know, it wasn't like, but I just need you for protection. But nah, I got your back, you got my back, we all together, let's go.
Brothers.
You know, we brothers, right? But because we from the same block. Like I just told you, my homeboy from the block. You know, but he's doing good things. But at the end of the day, we always had that in America. You know.
So let me ask you this too, within the separation.
Hold on. Let me answer to what you were saying, because what you're saying is correct.
Yeah.
Always been there, and just like you said before, we off camera, it's always been there, but it was looked at differently. Just like you just said, you know, this is my crew. When we roll, we rolling together.
Yeah.
We wasn't rolling out to sell no dope. Wasn't rolling out to beat up nobody, wasn't rolling out to rob nobody, but we rolled out with people that we were comfortable with. But now, I truthfully believe that now is just the thing to do to be accepted in a younger culture. I almost think that some of the kids now that have a structure want to be accepted by the kids that don't have a structure. So they join gangs and follow that direction. Right. Compared to back then, most of us didn't have a structure. Or and I say structure, I mean we didn't have mother and father in the house. So you know, we looked at people that had, you know, some of these TV shows where somebody they look at, they be like, "Who is that?" They were like, "That's my dad."
Right.
Like, what? Your dad lives with you?
Live with you, exactly.
You got one of them?
But you know it's
so back then we looked at people that had both of their parents as, you know, quote unquote, a different class. And we wanted to be a part of that. But now I think that the ones that actually have a mother and father in the house are looking at the ones that don't and saying, damn, they cool.
You know,
I want to be a part of that.
And that's real, but the thing is, that's been going on. Cause some of my homies that done did time, that been locked up, all of that, and got caught up in that. One of my homies, his mother used to take care of him. He had fresher sneakers than everybody. So he, you know, when it came to the hustling, cats was doing their thing or whatever the case may be, he ain't even had to do that. Right. But he wanted that, and he wanted it bad. Yep. And he got it. And he started getting locked up, went from time he was like 17, 18, 19, all the way to 40-something years, in and out, spent about 18 years of his life. The longest stretch he did was 8 years. Yeah. And he never had to do it. And he had a different status because he was doing it. Oh, he did it because he wanted that. Yeah. That status. He 40, he 44, he 40, he gotta be 46 now. Yeah. But he's happy being the big homie. Yeah. Like he wanted that. So sometimes a lot of people, they want that. Like that's why it's like there's a good and there's a bad. We gotta accept the fact that some people ain't gonna be good. Some people are gonna be bad. Some people are gonna do things that just because you don't accept it, but that's just who they are. Yeah. Yeah, I believe that too. You know what I'm saying? And like Mike would say, the infected, right? Yeah. So sometimes, like some of the cats that was coming around the way and was doing some of the other stuff, I'd be like, damn, you got your mom's giving you everything. My mom's by herself, taking care of 2 boys, and I'm tight because she buying reject sneakers. I need to get Nikes. I can't go to school like this. They got jokes. Yeah. That's how it became funny. Yeah. They got jokes. They say rejects. They cost $1.99. Like, no, I can't do this.
Got a whole song about
That whole song.
Yeah.
You know, ooh, he got it. Yo, that's a problem. You gotta be funny. The hood gonna make you funny.
Yeah, you gotta take the distraction on.
Right.
Yeah.
So
And I was that kid. That's what I'm saying. I was half a thug because I was trying to chase for that. But I had my mom and dad at the crib. Not only that, my mom had 4 sisters. 3 sisters, including my mom. All of them were married except for one. And they all had the husband in the house, and they were married until the other one died.
Yeah.
My grandparents still together until they passed away. I grew up in church.
Yeah. So what's weird to me is, like I said, we know the gangs for protection. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Or a drug operation, right? But think about it like this, right? Let's just say the Bloods and Crips, right? You got Bloods and Crips. You said they started to protect themselves from white gangs in California, which I also understand too, right?
Yeah.
And they divided themselves into, let's just say, 2 sets, those 2 sets.
Yep.
And from them 2 sets spawn 1,000 different sets. You know what I'm saying? So no longer are they, clicking up for protection, which that's what they started for.
Right.
You're now dividing and making smaller, sets. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So
Yeah.
it's no longer about, community, because that's what it sounded like in the beginning when it's coming together.
Right. Yeah.
It's no longer about its community. It's about who can create, or, who can have the stronger.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I just don't understand that when we're already behind. Like I don't like the fact that what we were in our, well, let me just say for the millennials, what I was clamoring in my generation for was to get access to knowledge. You know what I'm saying? So when I went to the library, I was staying there for long times. You know what I'm saying? My mom would take me to the library and we would just sit in there and she would allow me to read books. You know what I'm saying? Because I was clamoring for access to knowledge that I wasn't getting.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I did a program when I started high school at Fernbank Museum, where I went there for my whole 9th grade year and learned about 13, 14 different things because my mom wanted me to get access to knowledge. You know what I'm saying? I seeked out college because I wanted access to knowledge. I used to, like I told people, I am the person who watched School Days and wanted to go to a black college.
So let me ask you a question. Where did you grow up?
I got put in I'm from Stone Mountain, Georgia.
Stone Mountain, is that like considered a hood or like a poor community?
Do we have hoods in Stone Mountain? Yes.
So saying that's why you wouldn't understand it, right? Because when you grow up in this community, when you grow up in that area, when you grow up in that jungle, you understand? We older, so we get it.
So let me say this. All right. So I have an older sister, 4 years older than me, right? And I'm a little brother, you know what I'm saying? So she used to take me everywhere. So because my sister was older than me, like I said, when we got introduced to the Bloods, Crips gangs, when they did come to Georgia, my sister was one of the first girls to date a Blood, you know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying, I seen it firsthand. And I'll say this, when I met him, coolest guy I ever met. He low key, like I said, he was doing it more he bought it from the West Coast where he was from. He had to move to Georgia. He bought it with him, and he was using it and doing it within the drug lane. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So he wasn't doing it in the killing, murdering, all. He wasn't doing it for that. He was bringing what he knew to Atlanta and then using that to start an empire or enterprise for drugs, right? But let's just say this: the end result for him, within 3 years of knowing him, was death. Yeah. He got shot on his patio on our way home from school. I mean, we literally all seen it when we got off the bus. Wow. Because he got shot on his patio as he opened his patio door. He was outside. We got off the bus. Everybody's walking down, all the kids. Yeah. And he's dead. And his little brother was one of my best friends. So his little brother, in the same grade as me, seen it right there. His older brother dead, right? You know what I'm saying? And all we thought was he was a drug dealer. You know what I'm saying? We knew he was a blood crip. We've heard the song because by that time the songs and stuff was out, but it wasn't prevalent. Like, killing wasn't the thing that we was thinking of. The only thing we seen when we seen him was a drug dealer, and he was extremely quiet. He was extremely smart. He wasn't flashy. He was very low key. You know what I'm saying? So it was even surprising. Like I said, when he died, it was surprising because it was like you would think that even though we know that he's in a gang, it didn't seem like he was even in the gang. He just told us that. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So it's like it's surprising to you because you're not from that community, right? Yeah. You from a place that's not go down. That's not what you into, right? Like, you talking to somebody like me. I was going to funerals at 13 years old, 14 years old. We knew what it was once you get into that. We knew what it was. It's either life or death. We know by the time you're 25 years old, whatever it is, you're gonna go to jail. If you wildin', you got to learn how to move, right? I think that all this has been going on forever. Is it more glamorified now? Yes. Yeah. Okay, because back in the days when we in the neighborhood and we around the way, we had more of the 5%ers. We had more of the Israelite dudes that everybody's getting privy to right now. They was right there behind my school, right? Yeah. But we had gangs, we had drugs, we had people killing each other. The murder rate was higher when I was younger, right? So what I'm saying is, it's not something, I don't even think you need to try to understand it because you're not from that environment. So when you're not from that environment,
there's certain things
you're just not gonna get it.
Yeah, there's certain things in life that you just have to say, can't understand it.
Right.
Because you just can't sometimes you can put yourself in somebody's shoes.
Right.
But you just don't know the shoes those people walk in.
Right. And there's a lot of drug dealers that's flashy. Like,
it's hard.
You know what I mean?
Because I've done it. I'm like, okay, the skinny jeans and 6 pair of shorts and 2 pair of underwear. I can't understand it.
Oh, I thought you were about to say you had done that before.
You had done that. Yeah, I like, how skinny was your jeans? Like, yo.
I recognize there's no way to understand it.
Yeah, because it's not you.
It's not you.
You just ain't from that.
There's certain shoes that you just can't feel and to be able to understand.
But let me ask you this, even that though, right? You saying somebody wearing the sag. Okay, where did we get sagging pants from?
I mean, I used to sag my jeans.
But that's what I'm saying. Where did we get it from?
Listen, I mean, they say it's from prison, right?
That's what I heard.
They say it's from prison, but we used to do it as a style, right?
Right. It was both.
Yeah.
I see you talking about just a person in the hood, like.
So that's what I'm saying.
I see what you're saying.
The sagging pants now and the 6 underwear and all that is because somebody's doing it.
Yeah.
Now the problem is when we learn from where it came from. So when my mom told me, "Boy, you want somebody to take your booty, that's why they're wearing it."
But again, wait, hold on. But
yeah, but that's.
But hold up. When she told you that, you was able to say, "Oh, I ain't doing it," but it's hard to understand why, because these other people have been told that.
Yeah, but you're around the way. It's style.
But that's what I'm saying.
But it's style.
What my thing is, what is appealing about?
You're not gonna relate, bro.
This is what's appealing.
You're not gonna understand because you're not from that environment.
I'm gonna help you out.
An answer that we could give you that's going to
have you understand
why they do it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you an answer.
Okay.
We can't.
Because it looks cool to all the peers that are the young one now. It looks cool to them.
Right.
But see, like what you're saying, a lot of them don't even understand how the stuff even started.
Correct.
Even what you're talking about.
No, they understand. They understand now. They still do.
I don't think they care.
Watch me. So a lot of people don't understand that. Like from the gangs, like Crips, that was an acronym. Bloods, that was an acronym. And it was positivity. Yeah. Anytime us of color do anything positive in history, they always came and destroyed it. The government. We're the only ethnic group. Hold on. We're the only ethnic group that everyone disses.
But wait.
Now, when I say the government, they came and started dropping drugs in the 70s. In the 70s is when the Crips and stuff like that, that's when they started formulating. It was after they destroyed the Black Panthers. Now you got these other groups left over, so they started creating groups to protect their neighborhood. Once they see all this good stuff going on in the neighborhood, then they start dropping drugs in their neighborhood in the late 70s and the 80s. Now they're out here trying to get some money because there is no resources in the neighborhood. They was trying to hold it together and stand together, but everybody hungry, they starving. See, the Black Panthers was having breakfast on Saturdays, free breakfast. They don't have that no more. The Panthers is gone now.
Yeah, I don't.
So now they're trying to still hang together, but now they put these drugs in the hood, got people strung out on drugs, showing that you can sell this and get this money. So now everybody's about the money, and what comes with the money is the violence.
But ain't we always been about the money? I mean, it depends, because I look at the age on this panel right here, right? How old are you?
I'm 45.
Right, so we exact same age, right? And we gonna give you, we don't even say it, yo, but because my bed great too, so I'm messing with you, I'm joking, I'm joking, right? So think about this, right? You got 10 on us, but how can we relate to the same things? Because where you from, right? So when you from those environments, it's really not for you to understand outside of those parameters, because you're not gonna ever get it. So stop trying to understand it. So the conversations that should be had is shit that you could really relate to and talk about. So like, if somebody talk to me about something, even from back in the days, hood stuff, I don't want to hear it. I'm not going to engage in that conversation because it's irrelevant to me. If you want to talk to me about marriage, kids, life, all that other stuff, that's what I would talk about.
Let me offer you a devil's advocate.
Right.
How many did you have a valedictorian in your projects? You from New York, right?
I'm from Brooklyn.
Did you grow up in the projects?
I did not grow up in the projects.
Okay, on your block.
I grew up in Flatbush, just like a big ass. It might as well be a project.
No, but they don't say this. Did you have? Was there a valedictorian?
Of course there was.
Was she from a nice, rich house?
No.
They're never from that. So this is what I'm saying. The beautiful and the smart come from bad environments. It's not the environment, it's the person. So what I'm telling you is, when we have the ability to have knowledge and access to knowledge, like you said, you keep on saying they don't care, but why not?
Because they don't care.
Hold on, let me finish. Because this is what I'm saying. Because it's people in the same situations as them, going up to the top. It's all about your perspective, because this is how I look at it. Like I tell people, I try to relate it to my mom and my dad. I don't think that either one of them are better than the other. But if I went down the path of my father, it'd probably been a lot more difficult for me than it'd me to more relate to where my mother and go down the path, you know what I'm saying, that she had placed in front of me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it was just perception. It was just like, when I see my dad, I see him struggling.
Yeah.
When I see my mom, even if she was struggling, I did not notice it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I literally didn't notice it. You know what I'm saying? I didn't realize having 2 jobs is not normal.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Riding the bus is not normal.
That's all you knew.
know what I'm saying?
Right, that's all you knew. So
let me say that. So for me, it wasn't struggle, even though it might have been struggle.
Yeah.
So your question was the hood, right? How they had valedictorians that had this, that, the other, right?
My question is more like, with the ability to have Knoxville.
Come out the same area.
Yeah, like,
because guess you know why?
Some doesn't do well.
Because that's everybody not.
Can't understand.
You're not gonna understand it.
What they do.
Because everybody.
And the only way that we can get past it, to start actually talking to, and I'm not gonna. Again, I hate to keep saying the younger, but of course, there's still older people. But the only way we can actually get past it is to stop trying to understand it.
That's a fact.
And actually just start talking through it.
Exactly.
Because if you're trying to understand it, you're not going to be able to have a valid conversation with somebody, because everything that they're saying, you're going,
well, no, but why? No.
But why?
It's a waste of
You
time.
have to be able to just say, okay, I understand what you're saying, but have you ever tried to look at it this way? But if you keep trying to say, I don't understand why you think that way, you're not going to understand it. We're not.
No, I agree.
And it goes back to being yourself.
Let me say this. When I was 15, 16, 17, like I said off camera, I grew up in a 2-parent household. Grew up in church. My grandfather was the pastor for 36 years, Kojic Church. Strict, right? 15, 16, 17, my mom and dad started getting on drugs, so we didn't have to go to church as much. To me, I was thrilled, because all I wanted to do is do what my homies was doing. I didn't care about all the everything, you know. I didn't care about all the what I grew up in, my parents at home. I didn't care about none of that stuff. I just wanted to hang out with them and do what was important to me at that time. Now, were there seeds being planted in me? Yes, all the time. A lady, I ran to the apartment building one time and I opened the door and the lady was standing right there and she scared the mess out of me because I didn't expect her to be right there. And the first thing she said out of her mouth, she said, "You can die just that quick and go to hell if your life ain't right." I was like, ugh. I thought about it for a quick second, then I just kept on going about my way, still being the same way. As I began to get to understand it and start discovering who I was, what I really wanted out of life for myself, then things start changing. You know what I mean? So, and it's like what someone said a while when I was making the point. It was like, they don't care, because at that time I could care less what anybody smart had to say. I could care with my grandfather. I could care less. Period. You know what I mean? But we can't stop talking to them. See, people kept talking to me. They wasn't trying to understand what I was going through. They kept talking to me and dropping seeds. And that's the one thing that we can do. We can just drop seeds. But there's always gonna be someone who's gonna have that influence over somebody.
It's a fact.
Right? Like when I got older, I started going to church for myself, start changing my life around, right? Then I had my cousins that was still out there in the street. My mom talking to him. And my mom said, "I need you to come over here and mop this whole thing at 2 a.m. tomorrow morning. My cousin is there on the dime." But my mom said, "I need to come to church with me Sunday." He got all the excuses in the world, right? It wasn't until I said, "Hey, cuz, man, come to church with me this Sunday." "All right, cuz, I'll come." And he came. It took me to tell him. It took me to ask him to come. He knew I'd been going to church. But it took me to ask him to come. I happened to be the one with the influence to get him to come to church. You know what I'm saying? So that's why it's important to know who you are, know yourself.
That's a fact.
Because you don't know who's out there waiting for you to use your words to unlock potential and purpose in them. Because the richest place and the most wisest place on this planet Earth is the grave. There's so much music, there's so many ideas, there's so many businesses
everything
that
in the grave
have not been have not come to fruition, because some of them people die without even getting a chance to know who they were.
That's a fact.
All right, with that, we're gonna take a break, but real quick, my man John Mosley, he said, and the crazy thing is, we all heard this song, but we really just danced to it and rapped it. Ice Cube said it. Check yourself before you
wreck yourself.
Yes, he did.
We'll be right back.
Right. And you know what's the weirdest thing about that?
Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way to rap. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way to rap. The record's gonna go. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way to rap. The record's gonna go. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way to rap. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way to rap. The record's gonna go. It's classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way to rap. The record's gonna go. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way to rap. The record's gonna go. It's classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way to rap. The record's gonna go. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo.
On deck, we are going to have Chattanooga All-Stars. And now, I want you to make some noise for the
Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way to rap. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way to rap. The record's gonna go. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. It's classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. It's classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. It's classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rap. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. It's classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. It's classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rap. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. It's classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. It's classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rap. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo.
tell y'all something. Y'all need to make sure that you look at IG, Spotify, because we got some clips from when we're actually off camera. Woo. And it's hard to repeat. We could go back and talk about what we talk, but you're not going to get the same. So get ready. Classic Conversations will come with these off-camera clips. Can't say behind the scenes because we're still on the scene. So
Right.
yeah, we back. Classic Conversations with
We're
Jae Tea Lo.
back. And ask a cop.
Getting good, man. Getting good. There's some educational pieces in here, in regards to dealing with the gang ways and the gang affiliations and the gang admiration that we're getting from so many people. We're getting some good stuff in here. And again, it's a classic conversation. Gangs was not. Gangs had nothing to do with what we planned on talking about tonight, but it was a classic conversation. But right now, we're going to get back to about knowing yourself. The last thing is, in regards to knowing who you are, a lot of people say they're put here for a reason. And most, anybody that's biblical, got a little religion about themselves, you actually do know that you feel that you were put here for a reason. And
Yes.
we basically search for that reason throughout life. Some of us find it early.
Yeah.
When people say, especially when you can do something and you're getting paid for it, you don't consider it work.
Yeah.
That's when you know you've actually hit why you were supposed to be here. This man right here, he's a comedian. He loves it. People may call it work, but to him, he's having a great time doing it. It's not considered work to him.
That's how I survived.
It's his service. It's the service that he does. So, knowing why you're here and actually knowing what you desire and not being ashamed to admit it, that's kind of wide. It's a wide spectrum with that because, you can look into personal relationships with friends, relationships with a loved one, the type of loved one you want. Because let's face it, there's a lot of people out there that's living a lie.
Yeah.
Because they're ashamed to admit what they actually want. Now, because of the recent, I would say, over the last 2 years, uprising of the alphabet, and please, I'm not meaning any disrespect by saying the alphabet, but I don't want to disrespect you by leaving one of the letters out. So that's why I just say the alphabet community, who, because of that, the uprising of it and the acceptance of it within the American culture, especially within the black culture now. A lot more people are coming out and being, showing what their desires actually are.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of people that would actually, there's a lot of men out there that would actually probably want to do hair, but they're scared to do it because they're scared of what society may think or their friends may think of it.
I mean,
Well, I had the opportunity.
I use hair.
I mean, because it'd be funny because most of the girls used to braid hair on the stoop. So like, you don't
Right.
want to be out there braiding hair on the stoop. Like that's just,
Right.
that's
So
jokes.
again,
I'm a joke on you.
So again,
Look, I had the opportunity to do it.
But again, the
I'm
thing
a
is-
barber, but I couldn't do finger waves.
but the
It was
thing
too
is,
much.
I know a dude. I promise you, man. This dude did hair, and this dude, he was bomb at it because I used to actually send women that I was rocking with. I would send them to him. He had a credit line for me. Hey, go see my man. I say his name, my man Nick. Go see Nick. Tell him that JT sent you. He already know what to do.
Right.
You ain't got to pay a dime. But Nick was a man. He was a dude.
They get a, and when you
But
realize how much
he wasn't
girls
ashamed to show that he wanted to do hair in his
Right.
life.
get a lot of
There's
girls.
a lot of men and women that's out there doing things, but would rather be doing something else, but they're ashamed to actually admit what their desire is. What do you think about that?
Right.
I agree. I mean, I agree. It's just, but again, you says like knowing yourself, right? And you know what? I just thought about something. I did lie to myself before, right? I'm gonna tell you why. One, I love doing comedy.
Yeah.
I love getting money,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I was about to open up another store, right? Another shop. And my wife been down this road with me before when I opened up a cell phone store. And I don't care about cell phones. right? So I lost a bunch of money doing that.
Yeah.
And that was years ago. So now I'm about to open up this spot. I was about to, and she was like, you don't even care about that. I'm like, but I got partners. She said, why don't invest in yourself? And I was like, damn, I was lying to myself because I'm about to chase something that there's no need to chase that when I just got to keep investing in what I do.
Right.
You get where I'm coming from? So then I did lie to myself because in my head, I'm like, oh, this is going to project this. It's going to make about $8-9 grand a month. I could do this, do that. No, let me keep doing what I'm doing and then let what I'm doing, then I get that on the side.
So let me ask you this. Is it because probably subconsciously you didn't feel that you were worth what you were chasing? Because you was like, this will make this much, but you didn't think that you could make that stuff, that much investing in yourself.
That's a fact. I think I can, but if I put the same energy I put into acquiring property, buying business, getting things going, selling this, doing that, I had to stop, and I stopped recently. And I said, yeah, I've been getting to it. I've been running. And, you know, I run around the country. I've been all over the world, and I'm like, but I could be doing this even bigger.
Yeah.
If I only took the money I was about to invest in that and say, yo, no, Suge, go have a big ass comedy show. Go get one of them theaters and take that and bet on yourself.
Yeah.
Put it all on black on yourself.
Yeah.
And then that in itself is me saying, all right, yo, that's what I want to, that's what I'm gonna do, and that's gonna work because I love this, what I do.
I mean, it's easy for us in American, not black American, but American culture to get caught up in that. Because, let's face it, most of us, growing up, you had to get a job where you was actually working for somebody.
Bruh.
And it was basically something that you was pretty good at, but it was still work.
Yep.
Everything's work.
There was still times when you just was like, I don't want to do this.
Mm-hmm. Right.
You know, but when you're doing something that, and let me change that, because even if you're doing something that you love doing, there's still times you don't want to do it.
Right.
But more times than not, you're going to, if you love what you're doing, you'd rather do that. I think sometimes we get caught up in the dollars of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Instead of thinking the comfort. Yeah, if you're doing something that you are good at and okay doing it, but you're making this amount, you invest in that.
That's right.
Right.
But if you actually invest in yourself in something that you love, but you're only making this amount, you're probably going to be happier at the lower amount of money because you're actually at peace.
That's a
and
fact.
I think a lot of us get caught up in that.
Yeah.
And it usually takes a while for us to actually say, you know what? It's, like you said, it's time to start investing in myself. I've been caught up in it. I'm still caught up in it to this day.
Right.
To where I'm not investing in myself because I'm afraid that if I invest too much in myself, I might lose this other thing that I have going, which I'm just doing because they're paying whatever, and I'm actually pretty good at it. But if I actually did something that I know that I love and I have a passion for, that I would actually research, train, do more to be better at, even though I probably wouldn't make as much money at that moment,
Right.
I'm probably going to be more happy because in the end I'll make enough money and still be happy because of the freedom that I have mentally.
And that's a fact.
There's a couple windows in what you just got
Right.
to saying. Okay. Here's one window. Most people think that they can only really be successful at one thing. You're successful at this podcast. You're also successful as an actor. And you're successful at being cool. You see this, man? That's why I got my sweatshirt on. You know what I mean?
Right.
But we can be good at multiple things that we like. A lot of times we'll settle for just one of the things that we like and think that's what we're supposed to do, right? The other window in what you just said was, just slipped my mind.
Well, he was talking
It's
about.
gonna come back to me.
Right, he was talking about.
It happens.
He said something that I wanted to expand on. Right, I think that when people talk about work, right, or having a job, right? I still got a job. You understand what I'm saying? I did that already, right? I was working on Wall Street for 10 years, whatever. I seen people later, I left, and I started opening my own business, ran with it for a minute, found an opportunity to get a job that can help do, I'll be able to do my comedy, be able to run with it, and I did that, right? I think the problem is that people don't understand, like, you got 24 hours in a day, all right? 24 hours in a day. Even if you're working for 8 hours or whatever the case may be, you still got 16, you got a bunch more hours left, right? 16 more hours, if my math is correct, right?
Right.
So at the end of the day, it's what you're doing with your time. And if you running your own business, eventually you're gonna get employees. Everybody's not gonna be the boss, but you're the boss within yourself, right? So if I go to work, right, they're paying me for my service,
Right.
for me to be there. I'm providing the service. Yo, I'm the boss. They need me, right? If you're working for yourself, you got many bosses. Because guess what? Yeah. When you're working for yourself, you're providing a service, and if I'm paying you to do something, I'm your boss.
Exactly.
So you're not gonna come and tell me nothing wrong, because I'm giving you money. So now you don't got one boss, you got another boss, all your clients are your boss.
Exactly.
So everybody is getting work. It's a job. So I think the problem is everybody be like, oh, this one got a regular job, a 9 to 5. I don't care what you got.
Yeah.
It's what you do with your money, right? And understanding that at the end of the day, it's still all putting in work.
Yep.
Because that's the biggest misnomer in our community is like, oh, that dude, he ain't working for him, so he's just working. I work for myself. I still got a job, and I'm still doing investing.
Yeah. So are we talking about discipline now?
Right, and that's what you got to have is discipline.
So can I ask you this, and let me give you a caveat to what you said. I think when you're single and you have no kids, the things you do and the things you can do can be reckless. Once you have children, things you do and need to have structure. I think when you're by yourself, it's easier to dream and be more lucid and be more fluid.
Right.
Than when you have children.
Yeah.
So
you're talking from a point of responsibility.
But let me say this. So what I'll say is, I think, even for me, I'm talented in several different things. Like you said, I can do multiple things, and I can still do multiple things. But I think that if I would have focused on one thing or concentrated on one thing initially and put my focus into that one, path, then once I master it, I can expound to other pathways. So I think it's more of we can do multiple things, but I think that we need to master that thing before we move on to other things, because what I've seen, and I'm just going to use my life as an example, the things that I mastered allowed me to be able to expound to different things. But within mastering that one thing, I tried a lot of little things that I was good at.
Right.
In between there. And to me, they failed because I wasn't finished mastering the one thing I set my goal on first.
Well, that's debatable.
You know what I'm saying? Because it was just like, it wasn't say that I only, it's a number of things I can say why I failed, but I think that if I would have so let me say this, if I would have went to those things after I mastered what I had initially started, I think all those things could have been prosperous.
Right,
but because I did it when in there, they failed because I didn't have the time, like JT said, like your job, or I didn't have the patience to see it through. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I didn't have the collateral. It was a number of things that made that thing fail. But my main thing, kept me through, and it worked for me. You know what I'm saying?
Well, a lot of that has to do with how you approach it, your thought process as you're approaching it. Because what I hear you say, I hear what you're saying, but I see you putting yourself in boxes.
Right.
In what you're saying. See, that goes back to training. We're taught that we can only do one thing. So when you're able to do multiple things, you're like, well, I can't really get good at that because I haven't mastered it. I haven't mastered. But what we don't realize is we do multiple things all the time. Because I guarantee you, I believe in the Bible. So, like JT said, those who are believing that way, you know, they feel like you're here for a purpose, right? So I feel there's a purpose that we're here, plus we have talents, and you don't get the two mixed up, right? For me, my calling is to be an evangelist, right? But my talent is in singing, rapping. I can do a little comedy. I'm not him, but I can do some comedy, right? I can make you laugh, right? I can also dance, you know what I mean? And I can cut hair. I do all of these things. But if I sit there and I tell myself I have to master one before I can do the other, then I will live that way. See, it's all our minds are more capable of things beyond what we think we are capable of, if that makes sense.
I agree with you. I don't think what you're saying, I agree with you saying. I don't think that it's wrong. I think what I get from what he's saying is, and I do kind of believe what he's saying is that you got to have a vehicle, right? So my vehicle is comedy. No matter what else I'm doing, you gonna meet me at a job, you gonna meet me anywhere, yo, I do comedy. You understand what I'm saying? I'm gonna let you know, yo, I do comedy. Why is that? Because I'm gonna be doing shows. I'm gonna have something. I need you to come to comedy. And with me doing comedy, allows me to meet this one over here, meet that one over here, but it's still because of the parameters of me doing comedy. So comedy is my vehicle. You know, I was able to get in, you know, movies because of my comedy, right? Yeah. I was able to act because of comedy. I was able to meet different types of situations, coming out here and doing theaters because of comedy. Yeah. I'm here, right in here, meeting y'all and kicking it, and we all meet each other because of comedy. Right? Now, I was at my job, right? I met this brother over here because, and how we got cool? Because I do comedy, right? Because I'm never gonna stop that. That's always gonna be a part of the conversation. Yeah. You know, but I get what he's saying, okay, when you have kids, right? And you have a family. So it's like the thing, this is where this gets real. All right. This is where this gets real for me, right? Yeah. I go back to what you got 24 hours in a day. Okay? Now you got kids, you got a responsibility. They deserve hours, right? So now what do you sacrifice? Do I sacrifice me hanging out with my boys and my friends? Yes. Okay, because my side bitch is comedy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because I know I gotta make time to get on that stage. Yeah. But I do have to make time for my children and my wife. Yeah. So, but I don't have time to run around and be outside and just go into an event because so-and-so gonna be there or this gonna be there. No, that doesn't work for me. You get what I'm saying? Structure. You gotta have some type of structure. And whenever I go away from that and I'm ready to go hang out or whatever, everything start going a different way. Yeah.
Yeah, my man John, in regards to what Dwayne was saying, he said in regards to with the kids, you're held accountable for others. You have accountability for others. Mm-hmm. So it does, if you don't have, like you said, a vehicle, once that comes into the equation, because I still remember when my son became the priority, right? I had to have a vehicle. Mm-hmm. Even though I was doing these other things, I still had to have a vehicle. And the only reason I started doing the other things again was because my son, at 14, 15 maybe, 15 years old, gave me the permission to do so. Mm-hmm. He told me, he said, Dad, you know, I ain't got to come over here, on these certain weekends. If you and Mom is okay, I know there's some things you need to be doing. He said, you can go do those things. But like I said, with accountability of others, you're right. It does, you have to find a different structure. But in regards to, like you said, about the job thing, I still say, I've been saying it now for the last year. My actual 9 to 5 that I pay taxes on is actually my second job. Mm. That's my second job. My first job is this entertainment world, and I finally took it in the right way to where now I'm studying more and doing more within that.
That's right.
The job
is your hustle.
Yeah, you going exactly.
Your job is what you do entertainment wise. Yes.
What you gonna do.
Yes.
But the other stuff, that's where I'm actually putting in more.
Yes.
I'm gonna do the job. I'm gonna do what I'm supposed to do, but I'm not getting ready to go over and aboard for this job for them. Exactly. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it what I'm supposed to do. Yeah. But I heard somebody at my job say, I'm in logistics, and I heard this guy say, you know, you got to live this stuff. I'm sitting there thinking, you know, I'm smiling at him on the interview as the interview. You tripping. No, I'm not living it. I'm going to do the job, but I'm not going to live it, you know.
Never.
This is not what I plan on doing for the rest of my life type of deal. So what you're saying is correct. You know, once you get, you know, other responsibilities, you do have to find that structure and find out how to do it. I'm still battling it, honestly, because again, you know, not newly easy. Married, but married now, 2 years going on 3. It's still new, you know, still trying to exactly.
That's still new.
You know,
yeah.
So it's still, you know, it's still a balance there. You know, it's still a balance trying to make sure that I don't try and do too much of this to take away from that, because that's honestly that's my foundation.
Because she's you, and you know what's dope about what you said?
That's it.
You know what's dope about what you said? Cause my kids did that to me.
Yeah.
I first moved out here, right? My daughter and my son said, "Yo, man, you ain't doing comedy as much as you've been doing comedy. You still a comedian?"
That's the hardest.
I was
check
like,
ever.
"Yo, what you talking about?" I said, "Daddy, man, when you was back home, man, you always going. You be coming to our soccer games tired, or coming out to our games tired because you just did a show." It's like, why you still do comedy? And you know what's so real? When that hit me in the chest. Bang! I said, "Oh,
Yeah, that's a hard check.
damn, they being real." So sometimes
But they believe in you.
They believe exactly. Yeah. So the thing that you just said, that's the dopest thing, because I know I got that on that side. If you feel a certain way, you go back to your son, and he'll tell you what he see.
Yeah, I
and
mean,
it's real.
It spurred me to get more into it, not just being there for it, and I'm talking about the entertainment side of it.
Yeah.
Just being there for it because somebody hired me to do this or somebody casted me to do this. I was just there to do it instead of there and actually locking in and studying while I was there. You know, people say, "Man, why you do extra work?" I say, "Hey, man, because with extra work, you can actually go behind the scenes and study.
Yes.
You can look at people doing things and why they do it this way and why they do it that way.
That's right.
And you can see it differently than just waiting for somebody to say, "Hey, I want you to be the lead in my movie."
Right.
When you don't even know the aspect of how the thing is actually formed.
You know how good that felt?
That's why I do extra work, because if people look at me when I'm doing extra work, most of the people are sitting over here, they sleep, they're doing this and that,
right.
and the third. I'm sneaking, I'm back by the camera, I'm giving ideas, I'm saying stuff, giving comments, and I've had somebody, the Superfly movie, they was trying to get this young lady they couldn't get her level right because she was looking up at Roddy White. Roddy White was in it, and she was like 5-something.
Yeah.
She kept looking up at him, and they was like, "Man, we got to get that camera angle right." So I'm just standing back now. I was like, "Hey, man, why don't you like put on a box? You got the camera up here, you're not gonna see the box." He's like, "Hey, man, that's a great idea." And they did it, and he turned around and looked at me, he's like, "Man, who the hell are you?"
Yeah.
I said, "Oh, my bad, I'm an extra."
Yeah.
You know,
Student of the game,
if I need to step out, he's like, "Nah, man, you can stay." And later on, I found out I should have actually got production credit because I actually implemented something that actually was a success of the movie. But I didn't know that at that time.
Yep.
I found that out. So, you know, it's just, you know, like I said, it's a structure, and it's about the hierarchy of where you want to put things at, you know, and being able to balance it out in regard, again, and that comes with knowing yourself, because you got to know if you can do that.
You know what's deep?
Everybody can't do it.
When you got something you love, it's a drug. It's a drug, because like, I'm gonna tell you this right now, right? When I did 3 shows this on Saturday, woo, I couldn't sleep. I got home 3 in the morning, 2 in the morning. My wife was like, "Yo, where were you?" I was like, "I ain't get on stage till like 2-something." Right? She was like, "You was out there running him up." I said, "On stage." And I was like, it felt so good to like, that's me, 3 shows in one night. Like, yo, during the week, like doing it, bam, 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 bam. And it feels so invigorating. It's a drug. When you really love it, you embrace it, you hold it, you taste it, you be like, yo, there's nothing nobody can say to me.
And that's why I say, when you love what you do,
Love that.
it's not work.
No, it's not
Love
work.
what you do. Now, in the grand scheme of things, yes, it's work because it's gonna pay you. But when you love what you do,
Yes.
it's not work. And with that, we'll be right back. Going to the next subject, we're gonna talk about suicide, the crazy things that's happened recently. My man DJ Twitch, rest in peace. We're gonna talk about that.
Yo, but
With Jae Tea and Lo, you never know which way to rap. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way to rap. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way to rap. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way to rap. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way to rap. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. It's Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way to rap. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. It's Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. It's Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way to rap. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. It's Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. It's Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way to rap. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. It's Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. It's Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo.
You gonna make that?
I All right, y'all. We are back. Hey,
We back?
yeah,
We're back.
Hey, Brian David. Hey, brother, I appreciate you, man. He told me my mic wasn't hot, or it was hot, but it was warm. It wasn't hot. So I appreciate you, man, putting that out there to me. So listen, man. Like I said, we're gonna get into this conversation about suicide. But before we go there, we're gonna touch on one or two more things in regards to knowing yourself. Again, conversations that we had off camera should be pretty dope. But in regards to, finding things that you love and it not being work, finding out why you're here, all of this is going to bring all of this together. So, Sean, go ahead in regards to the story that you just told me that
we hear all this stuff, and I heard the words mastering something, right? We could master anything, right? You could be a master in riding a bicycle, riding a motorcycle, or whatever it is. But if you're not mastering what you love to do, all of it is just work. You understand what I'm saying? So if you master what you love, then it's not a day work. My grandmother used to say, even when I was younger, 15, or I get in trouble or whatever, it's like, I always like money. And she always would tell me, you like too much money, right? And I said, man, Granny, what are you talking about? You need money to eat. You need money to survive. You need money. She was just like, no, Sean. It's not about the money. I said, what you mean? She said, if you do what you love, you will always have money. If you do things just for the money, you will never have enough. Right. And when you realize that, that's when you say, okay, what is my real vehicle? If I love something, it's not work. Yeah. Because you're gonna reap the benefits from it. And I think that's a good segue into suicide, because I feel like when you think about it, right, sometimes people love something so much and they're not getting it because they're not putting in the right work, that they feel like they don't belong here no more.
Or sometimes they love something, but it's actually not. Again, it's about knowing yourself. You can love something and go all out at it, but it was not your reason. It was not what you were put here for.
That's a fact.
Yeah. And because you didn't recognize this what all of this is bringing things back.
Your purpose.
It goes back to knowing your weaknesses. You could go hard at something, but never catch traction. Recognizing your weaknesses. Sometimes you have to recognize that that's not for you. And I think a lot of people, and again, we're not experts. You see there's a bookcase and cigar smoke and everything behind us. Ain't no certificates back here. I think a lot of people they get caught up into something that they love, but it's not what they're here for. And because it doesn't catch traction, you look at yourself as a failure and you end up doing something, to yourself. Of course, the ultimate is suicide. One thing, when you was talking about what your grandmother said, I was approached. I sold drugs back in the day, but
really,
it wasn't because I searched it.
Right.
It was actually brought to me because two of the guys in my neighborhood, when they got popped, the streets was dry. So I was approached that, hey man, people like you, cops ain't gonna mess with you. You could do this. So I did it, and it made me money, but I didn't love doing it, to the point to where I actually shut shop down at midnight. What drug dealer? Stop selling drugs.
Some people love that.
You got hours.
I shut it down. It made me enough money, but I didn't love it. But again, I always wanted more, but I just didn't love it. It's like your grandmother was telling me.
Yeah.
But when you can, the moment that you find out that you will do something for free,
that's a fact.
That's when you know that you love it.
Right. You know what's like you said.
And that's where you should point your passions toward and try and build with that. I mean, when you would do things for free that you could get paid for, but you'll do it for free.
Yeah.
That's when you know you're doing something that you actually love. And especially when people keep saying, keep doing it because you're good at it and you'll still do it for free, that's when you actually found something that you love.
And you know what's so dope about what you said, right? And it's real when it's like recognizing your weakness. We all got to recognize, like, I know mine. You know what I mean? My weakness is I got such a big heart. You know what I'm saying? And I will give to anybody. You know what I mean? If I used to have a problem, like if somebody don't like me, right? Because I used to be like, damn, like, yo, Suge, like,
What I do to you, son?
what I do, like, why wouldn't somebody like me? But then I had to learn, right, that's not my problem,
Right.
right? That's not my problem because look how many, all these other people that do. So why would I focus on that? And it used to bother me. Like, I wouldn't be able to sleep. Like, damn, somebody don't like me, man. Damn, Suge, yo, you cool, you da. Like, you know, going around the way, everybody knew if I had a problem, it wasn't really Suge. It was like something going on with the other person, well, because you get love from everybody. You understand? And it used to bother me. But now as I got older, I've been able to look at it and say, yo, it ain't me.
No.
And it don't really matter.
Right.
Because the trait, I gotta do what I gotta do.
They didn't really know who they were.
Right, and right.
My grandma would say, what God has for you is for you.
Right.
But if you're not being who you're supposed to be, you'll never get what was for you.
That's a fact.
You're continually trying to be like someone else. So you're going to miss everything that's for you.
That's a fact. Like, I love putting people together. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I get enjoyment out of seeing everybody, yo, these people I know, they together, stuff is successful.
Yeah.
Like, yo, that's so dope. Like, I don't even got to be part of it. I just like to see it. You know what I mean? And I know, yo, I'm good, though. So it used to really irk me. Like, even around the way when I'm young, I'm like, damn, this dude got a problem with me? Like, now I'm mad because I'm like, damn. But I'm giving you, I just gave you candy. I just gave you my juice. And you gonna treat me like that? Nah. But as you get older, you learn, like, no, it goes back into loving yourself.
Yeah.
And knowing yourself. Because if you know who you really are and what your real intentions are, nobody's gonna be able to change that.
Right.
Can
and
I
see, them
off-
people hating on you, they didn't discover their weakness. Because if they're hating on you and you did nothing to them, that means they see something in you that they dislike about themselves, or they see something in you that they want to do themselves, but they don't know how to go about it, or they can't do it. So now instead of just saying, man, how do you do that, or trying to be a student of the game, or recognizing, man, I need to figure out how I can do the same thing or do this because this is what I like to do. Instead of doing that, they just rather hate on you.
Right, because I'll show anybody. Like, I'm big on that. Like, I like anybody around me to be doing good.
Yeah,
right?
right.
I get a kick out of it because I was like, if I know that person that's successful, that person successful, this one, like, I come out here, you come out here, I got a bunch of homeboys doing good,
Yeah.
right? And when they call me up, we all doing good.
Yeah.
And we meet at the round table and be like, yo, Suge, da-da-da, yo, I got somebody who could do that for you. Oh, word, okay, we gonna kick it. I love that energy.
It's
You get what I'm
it's a
saying?
great reward when somebody can say, yo, bro, I appreciate you for
Oh, hell yeah,
sending me
man.
in that direction.
Hell yeah.
Or
Yeah,
introducing
yeah.
me to this person or getting me here because this is what happened because of it. That's a great reward. Everybody don't know how to accept those rewards because half the time people will help somebody and then once they actually make it, you're mad because damn, how did they make it and I didn't?
I don't want nothing. I just want to see anybody around be great because the energy I take to do this, to put somebody down or tell somebody, now, yo, you go, whoever you are, you be that person. You know what I mean?
All right, you said talent, right? When do we tell our people that they're untalented at something or doing something?
Yo, but that's not when you gonna tell somebody that, that's hating.
That's for American Idol.
That's not
Yeah.
hating. Because I give you an example, right? 2 examples. Like you said, we have, and everybody talks about this, the rapper who will never make it, and the people that are around him while he's rapping. The people who allow him to continue to rap knowing he will never make it and never tell him. They tell him he's talented. They tell him his songs are good. They tell him that, you know, his cadence is good. And y'all know he ain't gonna make it.
Well, see,
but y'all allow
that's a problem,
him
boy.
to-
But are
You're not
y'all
supposed to.
lying to him?
But those
Okay.
are
Are
not,
you lying to him, telling him
but
that he's good and he got all that?
That's what I'm
But the
telling.
thing
That's
is-
what I'm
but
saying.
the thing
That's
is-
what I'm saying.
Nah.
He may think that he's talented in it.
But
And
see,
because people are affirming that he's talented in it, he's continuing.
Now things got to get battle tested. So let me ask you a question right now.
No. What
Think
has to
about
happen
this.
is
It's
what
a
has to
lot
happen
of
is
rappers.
wait,
It's a
hold
lot of
on.
rappers.
What has to happen is
Nah.
that rapper has to actually have somebody that he believes in.
That's a fact.
The problem is, and again, I'm not in the game, but I feel that the problem is so many of them just have people around them.
Right. Yes, man.
That can't do it themselves, so they
Right.
gonna ride the coattails. If you have somebody that you actually believe in, and that person actually comes to you and says, "Hey, bro, maybe you should think about producing instead of actually rapping,"
Right.
Or your delivery is not right, maybe you should think about ghostwriting. Those guys make a lot of money.
So I'm gonna give you an example.
There's ways to do it.
Now he got to confront criticism or constructive criticism from
Exactly.
his friend. And if he's not mature enough
Right.
in himself to receive that,
Right.
he's gonna take offense.
Right.
But if he's mature enough, he'll take that and understand, okay, let me see. Maybe I do need to change this. Maybe I do need to change
Of
that.
course.
That was
It's all
one-
coming back to
That was
knowing
one of the
yourself.
questions I asked.
So now later, I ask this,
yourself
right?
well enough to
So now
accept criticism.
answer this. Let me ask y'all this, right? So at the end of the day, hold on. At the end of the day, right? Who are we to tell somebody that they not good enough because you don't like it? You know how many comedians, every comedian got the same story. You started out, you bomb, you go through this, is a handful of people. It's hold on. Can I? Hey, yo, but hold on, my brother. Yeah, hold on, my brother. Hold on. So there's a lot of comedians out there, right?
Yeah.
That are still some of the funniest cats around. But there's some cats that made it, right? The handful that make it. Why they all got the same story? Because when Dave Chappelle came back out, right? When Dave Chappelle came back out, he was getting booed. If he believed that, he wasn't good enough no more, would he continue to do it? Seinfeld, when he got off the Seinfeld show, he was getting booed. He was bombing. They got a whole documentary about it, right? I'm sure people was in his corner. You need to stop. You need to stop.
Rudy
He didn't
Ray
stop.
Moore.
Huh?
Rudy Ray Moore.
Huh?
These people
Rudy
got
Ray Moore.
proven
Rudy
track
Ray Moore,
records.
right?
I'm
So
talking
it's like in this whole, you can say nah, but I'm talking.
Nah.
So in this game, right? In this game, when it comes to the entertainment game, at the end of the day, right? You gotta believe in what you're doing, and you gotta see for yourself and battle test yourself. Like you can talk about, you gotta believe, right? For me, right? I've been all over the world, right? So now I'm over here, I feel like, damn, I'm starting over. Can't nobody out here tell me that I can't still do comedy? That's stupid.
Yeah, well, see,
because
the
I know what I
thing
can do.
is if you can take that criticism and recognize that the way you're doing it is probably not working, and you can work on your
You gotta
craft.
change something.
That's those people that has those stories.
That's different.
Usually, that's what happens.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're able to self-reflect, look at themselves in the mirror, go
That's
look
right.
at their show and say,
Nah, I
"But
think
damn,
y'all-
I guess that's why I didn't do well.
That's
so
what,
let
and
me
that,
work on that."
Yes,
I think
yes.
y'all discounting
When my
talent.
wife say
I
that,
think y'all discounting talent.
Well,
Like,
I-
think,
wait,
'cause let me
wait.
say this.
How are we
'Cause
discounting talent?
I don't think that, because let me say this.
You
I
just
can-
said,
hold
when
on,
do
let me
we
say
tell
this.
people not
I can
to
say-
rap
let me
anymore?
say this.
You could be 100 and
'cause
still
this
do
is what I'm
comedy
saying.
and
Let me-
100
let me-
and act.
Let me finish. I can say I want to be a comedian, right? There's an open mic out there, right? I can go out there and be good. I can be bad. I could do it, but I'm not talented in it. So let me say this: if I continue to do it, I'm probably not gonna be successful. It's just
Nah, there's a lot.
Wait, hold on.
Hold on,
Let me hear
man.
what he's saying.
Yo.
Let me hear what he's saying.
finish.
What is he
Go ahead.
talking
It's
about?
the same thing. It's the same thing with these rappers. Listen, man.
No.
I've been in. I can't tell you how many studios. I've heard. I can't tell you how many rappers that never make it. They spend thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars and never make it. And the reason why they don't make it is because they're not talented in it.
So
you know what I'm saying?
so wait.
Some-
But you
it
just
takes
said.
some talent to be. All I'm saying.
But
is
wait, you
the
just said
people
we're
who-
discounting talent.
Hold on.
Yeah,
Let me finish.
exactly.
Well, you
Let me
just
tell
you
so let me
can't
say-
wait.
This
No,
whole thing is a
Stop.
contradiction.
I'm trying to finish.
Wait. But wait, you just said we're discounting talent. But
Correct.
then you said if you tell them that they're not talented enough, they're actually not talented enough. Which way are you talking?
Nah.
No,
Yeah,
I'm
this-
saying,
contradicting yourself.
instead of allowing them to continue to rap. So that's what I'm telling you. It's people. What I'm saying about rappers. The reason why you can go down.
How are we discounting talent? Is what I'm asking you.
Because these people are never going. They can put out all these records all they want. They're never going to make it.
So how are we discounting?
What do you?
They could be doing.
So
something
this is
else.
this the
They-
question,
'cause
right?
let me
What
say this,
is
they could
making
be
it?
doing something else. I'm just telling
Your
you.
level of making it is could be totally different. From hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. Okay. Your level of making it can be totally different from their level. Their level of making it can be like, yo, I was able to put out an album. You know what I'm saying? I feel great that I was able to do that. I feel great that, I was able to get a song on the radio. Oh man, I was able to be a feature. Oh man, hold on, man. Hold on, you just had the mic. I was able to do that, right? And that's their level, and they feel great at that, right? Who am I to tell you that you're supposed to stop your time? Like, right?
I say if you're gonna put yourself out there to tell somebody that they're not good enough to do a certain thing,
That's your self-esteem.
you have. I wouldn't say it's that, but I know that you need to be. First off, you need to be close enough to that person to tell them that. And next off, you need to have. You need to really know what the hell you're talking about.
Okay, let me say this.
I'm not saying people shouldn't tell people that
Right.
hey, bro, I don't say you're not good enough. I'm saying, hey, bro, at this moment, you probably ain't got it, but you might need to work on it. But I get what Sean is saying. To tell somebody to stop their dream, that's not
Well, let me
cool.
say this. Hold on. Before you say it, let me say this. Let me say this.
I got one for you.
Let me say this.
I got one for you.
One for me. I used to hang around my cousins, right? All of them rapped. I didn't. And I wanted to because they were rapping. I'm like, man, I don't want to be around all my cousins, they dudes, and I'm just singing all the time because they knew me for singing, which I was just, okay, right? They knew me for singing. They always rapped. I'm like, man, I want to do that too. So my first rap, Peter Piper picked a pack of pickles. I used to get plain chips, now I'm getting ripples. I got a microwave and it's digital. I thought it was dope. They shut me down. You need, look at him. You need to go do something else. Rapping ain't for you. But what that did, that made me angry, right? Angry in a way that motivated me, and I got good. Now I'm dope with them. I got real bars now. Now, on the other hand, I see what you're saying, because I think we all can agree. Ice, I don't really want to say his name, but Ice JJ Fish cannot sing. What you doing? You have to stop, bruh.
Who is that?
But
Ice who?
Ice JJ Fish. Go ahead and look him up on your spare time. Hurt your ears. Yeah. But
Did he get a deal?
I would tell him singing is not your thing, but entertaining on the internet, that might be you.
So, because this is what I'm trying to say. All right.
Both of you guys have a point, is what I'm saying.
When do you tell? All right, like I go to LA Fitness to work out. I do all the weights in the gym, right? Right. Which there's a section in LA Fitness where people just go in to do it. And those people probably played on the end of the bench in high school and, or in college, you know what I'm saying? But they go in LA Fitness just to shoot that ball.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's a whole gym full of things. And most of those people in that gym shooting that ball got the same body. Their body don't change. They just paying $39 to shoot a ball rather than going in the gym and running.
Yeah.
Going in the gym and lifting weights. Going in the gym and using the different machines, working
Right.
each one of their muscles,
Right.
getting definition.
Yeah.
So instead of focusing on what they used to do in high school,
Yeah.
and they're not expanding themselves to the whole gym. That's all I'm saying. So
Right,
this
right.
so this is what I'm saying with a rapper. I'm not saying that a rapper isn't talented at rap. I'm just saying that rapping may not be his thing. He may need to use that in another way.
Yeah, he might wanna rap.
He might want to rap, but he might need
not.
to. Because this is what I'm telling you. This is what these young kids are doing. Like even the fact that they are influenced by the gangs. These gangs are because of rap. They're listening to it. It's in their ear every day. This is why they're going to these directions.
All right,
And
so
then hold on.
I just
And
think
they
it's a
wanna
slippery
rap,
slope to
but
tell
it's
somebody to
people-
stop
exactly.
their dream.
Right, exactly. Let JT
That's
say what he's saying. You gotta let JT. You gotta let JT. You just had the mic. Hey, hold on.
Hold on.
Let JT say what he. You just had the.
What you're seeing.
Yeah, but
Hold up, hold up.
No.
Dwayne.
You gotta let him. You gotta let him say something.
Hold up. It's a slippery slope
Yeah.
to tell somebody
Yeah.
to stop doing something that's their dream. That's all I'm saying. You could tell them, but it's a slippery slope to tell somebody to stop what they're dreaming of. You could tell them. So to answer your question, when is it time? Is whenever you feel you should tell them. But it's up to that person whether that's their dream or not. It's not up to us to gauge. Now
That's the
later
key
on,
point right there.
Yeah, it's up to them.
If that's their dream.
If that's their dream, it's a slippery slope.
Right, because like that
Some people out
analogy.
here rapping, and it ain't really their dream. They rapping
Right.
because their whole crew is rapping. Other people are rapping
Right.
that can rap, so they want to be in there too.
And
but
that's
theirs
a-
might not be good. I just happen to be
but,
good.
But forget rap.
Like that analogy with the basketball, right?
Well, forget that part. Just telling anybody
That's a fact.
that you're not good enough, it is a slippery slope.
Yeah.
I'm not saying
Because you know how many people,
There's too many
and they, you know how many
people
people
that
made it in later age. They made it.
Our community
No.
as a whole.
So what, you saying that you should tell them, hey, you need to stop doing this and do this?
Yeah, who are you to tell them that?
No,
All
but
I'm
I see what he's saying.
I'm just saying, like, y'all acting like y'all,
No.
y'all not walking outside. every
Hold on,
day.
hold on.
Y'all
So
not
what?
seeing the directions
Wait.
that the people are going into. I'm
Look,
just talking about this.
But
Nowadays,
who are any of us
Yeah, thank
to
you.
tell somebody?
Thank you. No,
wait a
hold on,
minute.
Dwayne. Let him talk.
Stop.
Dwayne, you gotta let him. You gotta let him talk,
Let me
Dwayne.
finish.
You gotta let him talk.
Let me finish. For you to tell somebody, hey man, you ain't talented enough to do this, you need to do this. That's a slippery slope. Even with your child, it is a slippery slope because, again, if your child has a dream to do a certain thing and you don't support it,
And that's a. And I'm gonna tell you this. That's a.
Why are you wrong? If you're
I didn't say
No.
that you was wrong or right, but I just said it was a
He
slippery
said,
slope.
and that he made him a good point. And
That's what I'm telling
and
you.
even if being,
You can't go around telling people they can't do this. They should do this.
Right.
So Sean, your
Right.
daughter is extremely talented in basketball.
That's right.
She's talented in it, right?
right?
If she told you tomorrow, because I'm telling you, she can be talented in rap. Because she's talented in basketball, she probably can pick up a melody, pick up a tone, pick up beat. She can probably pick that up and be good at rapping.
Okay.
If she said, hey, Sean, I want to stop playing basketball.
Okay.
Because she's been looking at the phone and she's like, I want to be a rapper.
Okay.
Are you going to support that? Are you not going to say like, Pookie, like
No, I'm gonna answer your question. I'm gonna answer your question. I've been down that road already.
Go ahead.
Been down that road twice. She stopped playing basketball, played softball. Guess where I was at? Softball games, right? Then, but hold on,
They will
hold
recognize,
on, right?
They will
Then-
recognize
right.
if they made the wrong
All right,
choice.
and she did, right? Then she stopped playing again because she was like, oh, I just want to be a kid. I got it. You know what I mean? She stopped playing. She was chilling. What she ended up doing? I'm hand in the house, dribbling the ball. So the thing is, what I'm saying is, if now she picked that ball back up after she went and played softball, and I was just like, put that basketball down. Or if she picked that ball back up after she stopped and she was like, yo, daddy, go get me my train or whatever. I think I'm gonna go to that all-star thing, that all-American camp, and go out there. I'm gonna go, you know what I mean? But I gotta go train. And I was been like, nah, you ain't doing that because you quit. No, you don't do that, right? Because I'm not gonna tell you that you're not good enough, right? So my thing is this, right? We could take it in a whole bunch of different situations. You could take comedy, right, for instance, right? I've been doing comedy 19 years. Somebody else might look at it and be like, damn, you doing this so long, man, you need to hang it up, right? For me, I'm like, you don't know what you talking about because everything I've done has been battle tested. So for somebody else on the outside, they could be like, man, why he still telling jokes? Why he go still do somebody's wedding? Why he gonna still do this? No, because I know that I battle tested myself and this is what I love to do. So it's not on me, like the guy in LA Fitness who wants to shoot a basketball. It's okay, because that's what he loves to do. So let him do it.
But I kind of hear what he's saying because, and I won't say the names just in case this person want to say something themselves. And I'm talking about someone that everyone knows in this room. Now, this is the story. Because I remember growing up, like I told you, I used to rap and all this stuff. So our thing was we get on the city bus, we hit the back of the city bus, let a chick come on that bus that we think is cute. We do whoop, 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 whoop. We singing just to get her attention. Some brothers come on there and all that. Now we rapping. My homeboy, he used to rap all the time. Now I had a cousin, an older cousin, he was in a singing group. This guy, my homeboy, he would go over to the studio where they be at all the time. And he would be rapping and all that stuff, but he could sing too. My cousin told him, kind of like what you're saying. I don't believe you're saying, tell someone, hey, you're not good enough to do this. You need to do something else. I don't think that's the message what you're really trying to say. What my cousin told my homeboy is, he said, man, I see you rapping and all that stuff. He said, but you might want to look into singing, bro. I think that's it. And he listened. And today, he's traveling I just got to talk to him. The man's in Europe right now, singing, but he got bars. He still can rap. He's still dope. But he took the advice of somebody and listened to him. And this man is a multi, he's a multi-name, not multi, he's a household name. Everyone of y'all don't dance to his music. I'm just not gonna say the name. Cause I wanna, cause I don't know if that's a story that he wanna give out. It's something he told me personally. But that's that situation. So it's not like it's a gray area in this. It is a slippery slope, especially how you approach it. But sometimes on the outside looking in, you can see like if I went to play basketball, anybody come to me, hey, bro, basketball probably ain't your thing. Because I was a hack master. You know what I mean? But there's a way of approaching certain situations to give people another way to look at things. You know what I'm saying? To just, but it depends on the person. It depends on the situation. There's a lot of variables involved.
Yeah,
you know what
man.
I mean?
But the person got to see that for themselves.
Variables involved.
I just telling somebody that they can't do something is kind of.
I'll tell you who I'm talking about off camera.
We got a phone call. Go ahead, Lo.
Hey, what's up, fellas?
That one's rough.
Go
Telephone
ahead.
call. We got a caller.
What's going on?
Yo, that's Lo.
Angelo, what's happening, bro?
What up, bro?
Yo, my condolences.
How y'all doing?
What's up?
All good, bro. How
I
you?
appreciate it.
Hey, before you get going, let me go over these two comments real quick from Stephanie. Stephanie, guys, she said, constructive criticism make you do a self-reflection, self-evaluation to do better in the area a person may choose to exercise their gift or talent. And next one was, her dream was to play basketball. However, I wasn't good enough to go to college. Stephanie, I remember you playing hoops, and I thought you was good enough. I think it had a lot to do with the program that you was playing for and people just not pushing, giving you those opportunities. However, I went into the Army. I continued to play basketball and make the All-Army female basketball team. 2 years later, I didn't let no one shut my dream down. My journey just went a different route. So that's what I'm saying. It's just a slippery slope. I'm not saying you shouldn't. I mean, there's some rappers out there that's on the radio that if I ran into them, I'd probably be like, hey, man, congratulations, but you're horrible. But, I mean, if he's horrible today, I'm sure he was horrible then. But, hell, he on the radio now. So, I'm just saying.
So now we talking about money now.
But again, if that's what he wanted to do, his dream was to be a rapper, he's on the radio, he achieved his dream. So, I think he's horrible. A lot of them. Most of them right now. So,
I agree with you, but a lot of them are
I
horrible.
just say, telling somebody that they shouldn't do this and do that, and instead they should do something else, it's a slippery slope, especially knowing your position in that person's life. Angelo, what's happening, bro?
Yeah, what's happening, man?
Angelo outside.
Hey, listen. I was just gonna tell you, I didn't like Dwayne's analogy, simply because most of them rappers suck. Hey, most of them dudes suck, and they still make it famous. You know what I mean? So that's a hard analogy, man. Rapping and all that stuff is just opportunity. Sometimes I don't take talent; it's just the right opportunity came. You know what I mean? He couldn't rap, but they flipped that joint and made him a daggone megastar. So, sometimes it's opportunity. But I agree with what you said earlier, JT. You know what I mean? I think you can't tell somebody that they should just quit. But I do think you can help guide them in other directions, strategically, especially your own child. You know what I mean? Be like, just give them options. Hey, I know you want to do this, but you may want to, but look into this too. Give yourself more than one option. You know what I mean? So, there's a way to approach it, but just tell them, hey, man, you need to stop that. You're not good at it. Yeah, that could be devastating. that could cost you your child. That could cost you your friendship. That could cost you all kinds of stuff, man. Gotta be careful with that.
Angelo, it's like when T.O. was our safety. we didn't tell him to quit playing football, but we told him
right.
Safety ain't for you.
We see you better. We see you better at this position. You know what I mean?
Just switch it up a little.
and it worked out just fine.
But that's
Hey,
okay
oh,
though.
yeah, man.
Look, man. Well, before we get into the top five, wasn't going to get deep into this because again, we're not experts. But in regards to the suicide rate that's happening, and it's happening. At one time, it was a thing that black people didn't commit suicide. Well, that's changed over the last couple of years as we've seen some prominent black people do it. Most recently, DJ Twitch, somebody that you always saw smiling, dancing, all that type of stuff. So, in regards to what suicide looks like, I don't know what it looks like, to be honest with you.
No.
But
I think that's the perfect answer. You don't know what it looks like.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Because I've had a friend of mine, when I tell you this kid had a smile on his face every single time you saw him. I've never seen him have a bad day. And this man shot himself in the heart in the backyard of his own home. You know what I mean? Sitting his kid next door. Till the mama got home, neighbor had no idea what was going on. Went in the backyard, shot himself in the heart. Because his heart was broke.
Yeah.
You would have never imagined a million years ago would have did that. Never. Never seen him with a bad day. So you don't know what it looks like. And that's the scary part about suicide. You don't know what it looks like.
yeah. I just feel that we have to learn how to reach out. I've been shooting text messages out to people that I hadn't talked to in a minute. I call it the black man check-in. Just shoot a text saying, "What's up? How you doing?"
Yeah.
It's just a black man check-in. What's up? I think it's just trying to give people. I mean, I'm a man, so of course I'm thinking about black men, but black women too. We have to be able to find a space. I've been saying this the last couple of weeks. A space, creating a space for people to feel and heal. And when I say heal, it's just talking. Just being able to create that opportunity, that arena. I think that's because again, like you said, you don't know what it looks like. So stop thinking because somebody got the nice car, seems to be doing great, especially on social media today, because right now, don't nobody put too much sad stuff on social media. Know that they're probably going through something, so just reach out. It can't hurt. If they doing good, they're going to tell you they're doing good.
Right.
Not saying that they are, but at least, reached out. That's my only thing that I feel that we can start doing now within our community. Women they're better at it. Women get together, they can talk, they can cry.
Yeah.
Men, we just don't do it, and I think we need to do it more.
That's a fact.
Angelo, you can attest to this. Our boy D-Mac just reached out to us. I'm not saying nothing wrong with D-Mac, I promise you. I'm not saying that. But he just reached out. He was like, "Hey, man, when can we get together, smoke some cigars, play dominoes, and listen to Jae Tea's Bluetooth speaker, and just kick it?" Because that's what we used to do every year we went to Florida. It's just creating a space, man, for people to just talk. You never know what can come out of that conversation, especially with some alcohol with men.
Sometimes it's the simplest things, man. Sometimes the simplest contact and communication can literally change a person's life. You know what I mean? It's just the simplest thing. I remember I had this brother, man, that I called him one night, and at the end of the conversation, that man said, "Lo, you don't know, but I was contemplating suicide tonight. Your call just saved my life." He said, "You don't have no idea when you called me what I was going through."
See?
Simple stuff.
Hey, it's crazy.
You know what I mean? And that joke, I always, you just never know what somebody's going through. You never know, and you never know the impact that you can have with just what you just said. It's a simple, "Hey, man, just checking in on you," And we have to be more open to do that.
I always reflect back to our flag football world because, now we're kind of scattered because we don't have as many seasons. But we're out there with guys, man, that's rah-rahing and, man, fuck you and kick your ass and you motherfucker and you kiss my ass and I'm punching your face. But then you give them a telephone call for something totally, you might be calling them to get somebody else's phone number and the next thing you know, they just letting it all out. This has happened to me recently.
Yeah.
Somebody that all of us flag football cats know, he just let some things on me. I was like, shit, did not expect that. But I was glad that I was able to actually reach out and get that so where he could actually just let something out. You know what I'm saying? So
You know what's crazy?
When it comes to just reaching out.
Just being in church, growing up in church, every time you ask somebody from church, how you doing? I'm blessed and highly favored. I don't care where you sit. Blessed and highly favored. I'm so up I can't be down. But when you go to church, the altar call full.
Word.
How many people are really lying?
A lot
You know
of
what I'm
them
saying?
lying.
It ain't that they're lying on purpose. It's the image that's portrayed, and I'm just speaking for church. It's the image that's portrayed in church. You always, I'm doing good. You don't never really want to be honest. If more church folks would be honest, there would be more church folks being delivered. There'll be more healing going on.
Comment, my girl Stephanie, she just said her praise report is she survived her suicide attempt.
Yeah.
No one knew. She is no longer ashamed, so she shares her testimony with others. Hey, Stephanie, we're going to talk about that.
Yeah.
Might need that testimony on the show. We'll talk about it.
She also said something right before that. Suicide has no face.
That's right.
So
That's right.
with
Suicide
that,
has no face. That.
we always have to just call and check in on somebody. Check in on people. If you ain't talked to them in a while, call and just check in on people. Because you never know what someone's going through. And like Lo said, you never know when you call someone at their lowest moment and distracted them from doing something detrimental. You know, because emotions are like leaves in the wind. They fly every which way. You know what I'm saying? We have to get to a point where we be honest with ourselves, get to know who we are, and begin to lead your emotions in the way that it's supposed to go. Because some people are like, I just follow my heart. Well, your heart that's speaking to your emotion. And your emotion is like, look at this right here. The fan's blowing. This is going whichever way the fan's going. This plant right here. We have to get to a point where we can be able to lead our emotions. And there's not enough classes on how to deal with stress.
Mm-hmm.
There's so much stress. There's so much mental illness is a real thing, and the black community has so much PTSD. I'm directing a film right now that's about PTSD, and in all areas, whether it's military, being in a gang, living in the streets, dealing with racism at work. You know what I'm saying? I suffer from PTSD every single day. The moment I see a cop, my PTSD kicks in. When I was a bus driver and the Metro Transit police would get in the bus, my PTSD would kick in because all I'm thinking is, I can't wait for this cop to get off the bus, because all I can think about is the times I got beat up by cops, or the time the cop put the barrel of his gun on my head when I just asked a simple question. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of stuff that people are going through that they're dealing with and that they don't know.
Angelo.
Yo.
Hey, man, we're gonna wrap this thing up. We actually getting done early tonight. It's your fault. You the reason why we always late, because now we wrapping up early because you ain't here. So top 5, sir.
I said everything I was gonna say, so I had nothing else to say. Yeah.
Somehow I knew that was gonna be said.
Yeah, that's how you know he on the spot right now. He figuring it out right now.
Nah, I want to say, man, real quick, based on everything y'all said, is good stuff, and checking on your folks, man, and as you get to certain age groups, we discussed this tonight in detail with the fam. When you start realizing you got more days behind you than you got in front of you, you got to start reaching out to these folks. And I literally, buried my uncle today. Had a friend of mine buried his father today. Another friend of mine, father, passed away today. And then my cousin's mother-in-law passed away while we were at the funeral for my uncle.
Wow.
So, yeah, man. Yeah. All this today. You know what I mean? So, And you guys got to imagine somebody's going through something and need therapy, they need somebody to talk to, you know what I mean? Because that's a lot in one day. So, and everybody can't handle it as others can. So, just keep an eye on your folks, man. Reach out to them.
Correct.
So they want to put a damper at the end, but it just goes into the conversation.
Nah, but it's real though, man.
That mental health is real, and we gotta be careful with folks and how folks deal with stuff.
That's real.
Every time I turn around, I'm losing somebody, and some of my best friends. So that's why I'm gonna enjoy this life while I'm here and ride it till the wheels fall off. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like I lost
freaking wheels fall off.
Word. Since I've been here in Georgia, I done lost 13 people, cats I told to every day. So it's like for me, hey, I gotta enjoy this life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Word.
And we definitely, as a people, we definitely got to understand. And a shameless plug. We have to understand that our black is beautiful in America. It's beautiful everywhere. But for those in America, your black is beautiful in America. That's also the brand I'm wearing. See how I did that?
That's a fact.
What you got for the top
man,
5, homie?
So I'm gonna get into the top 5, man. I'm gonna do what we said last week. We're gonna extend last week's top 5. Last week we said the top 5 comedians turned actors. So this week we're gonna go with the top 5 rappers. Top 5 rappers turned actors.
Oh, that's a good one.
Wow.
Top 5 rappers that turn actor or actress.
Wow. Ready, Sean?
Yeah, I'm gonna go Ice Cube. I mean Will Smith. There's a couple of them dudes. With Childish Gambino, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's another one.
Yeah.
I mean, you got 2 more, right? Damn, it's at the top of my head too. Ice-T and LL Cool J.
Okay.
And that Ice-T thing, let me tell you something.
Yeah.
He's top now, but boy, when he first started,
You ain't know. You was gonna tell him not to do it, right? You gonna tell him, yo, you need to quit. You need to stop. If he would have listened to you, you were gonna tell him he need to stop, right? He got focused.
boy, when he first started,
That's funny.
he said, hey man, when I walked in there for that audition,
Yeah.
I just thought about the same way I got my girls as a pimp. He said, I'm gonna make this director into my bottom hoe.
That's it, yo. You see what I'm saying? Yo, you know what's so crazy that I wanted to mention one last thing though. We talked a lot about telling somebody that they not good enough. But how many of y'all, how many people are people's cheerleaders and telling them y'all got your back no matter what? That's even more important. Because then if you got people that believe in you and you believe in yourself, that helps you be even more powerful.
Yep.
So I think that if you don't gotta like everybody, but if you see somebody they rocking, they doing their thing, and it's working for them, and they make it happen, and you can see them, you be like, yo man, I just want to see you be great. That's deep. All right, I'm going.
All right, Dwayne, you got yours?
DMX.
Good one. Good one.
That is a good one.
Rappers turn actors. Man. Oh, that's good. Dave. Yeah.
Who?
Dave Berg. He has a show out called Dave. You gotta watch it. It's pretty funny.
Oh yeah, he's hilarious.
Okay.
Yeah,
Little Dicky, yeah.
Lil Dicky.
That's funny.
Man, I can't remember.
This sounds crazy, and I don't want to tell on myself, but Eve.
Nice.
I watched.
That's not bad.
I watch all her shows because of my girl. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
The new show. I even like Brandy rapping. It was kind of different. That's 3, 4.
Yeah, just thought of my last one.
Vanilla Ice. I like him anytime he's in an Adam Sandler movie.
Mm-hmm.
He's very comical. It's like he's a parody of himself. It's so funny. That's 4. And man, rapper turn actor.
You got one more.
Tekashi 6ix9ine, because he's been acting this whole time.
This is a true statement. No, I don't like him.
I'm kidding. I'm
Stay
kidding.
away from- Stay away from anything that has to do with him.
You say 6ix9ine.
Yeah, man, I can't even think of nobody. You took everybody, Sean.
Come on, I got a couple Common.
Yeah, Common.
Hey, don't give none away,
There
man.
you
You
go.
giving away
There
my
you
stuff.
go, Common. There you go. I finished on that one. There you go. That's 5. Common.
Man.
All right, what you got, Mike?
Okay, 1, Tupac. I don't see how that slipped through all y'all heads.
It's a good
I
one.
know that's right.
Here's another one. Hey, here's another one that I'm gonna shake y'all up on this one. Romany Malco,
Who the hell is that?
Shook me up, yep.
the dude from the black dude from 40-year-old version. Him.
Oh,
He was a rapper?
He started out rapping.
Are we talking about established rappers?
Hey, he had a song.
Yeah.
Go Google him and look up his song. You was bumping to it, my bruh. We the same age, so I know.
What's the song?
I can't remember it.
That's why
It was so long ago. Hey, but it was a hit. It was so long ago.
No wrong.
But he went into acting and discovered that he was better at that. So that's 2. Who else? Queen Latifah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, that's 3.
There you
Queen
go.
Latifah. Who else we got? Drake. Yeah, because he was in
Drake.
Nebraska. He was in a wheelchair on the Kids channel. Boom, he was right here with it.
Well, he went from acting to rapping.
Yeah.
He flipped it. Rapper to
Oh,
actor.
my bad.
It's hard. It's hard for me to look at him seriously
I
as
guess
a rapper.
okay. We
because he
gotta
was
take
on
Drake
that-
back out.
Yeah. Mine is
He did
Drake.
both. Who else? Who else can I think of? I can't think of.
Mos
nobody
Def.
else. Mos
Def.
Thank you.
I
Thank
got a
you for
bunch
the
of them in my
assist.
head right now.
Who
Mos Def.
I think, I don't know what happened, but I thought that he was going to kill the acting game.
Yeah.
Who?
Most Def. I really thought that he was going to stay with it.
He just ain't willing to do certain
I
things.
think,
what I-
yeah,
that's what I think it is.
He didn't want to
Yeah. Yeah.
submit.
Sometimes you don't
to
wanna go too far.
Powers
Yeah.
that be.
Yeah, I could see that.
Who else?
I think you got 5.
Marky Mark. Thank you.
Bruh.
I'll take that one.
Yeah.
I'll take that. Feel the vibrations
Yeah,
up in this
Marky Mark
piece.
was on mine because, I mean, people forget that he was Marky Mark.
Yeah.
Calvin Klein had with some underwear.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do that.
Millennium Coalition, what you got?
All right. Greetings, everyone.
Greetings.
My honorable mention is Mark Wahlberg. Love that guy. So we'll start from bottom up. Tupac, Will Smith, Method Man. I love how
It's a
high.
good one. That's a good one.
Donald
Method
Glover.
Man.
Method Man is a good one.
Yeah.
Donald Glover, yeah.
Ludacris.
That's Childish Gambino.
Yeah.
And so I got one more, huh?
Ludacris.
This is tough one. This is a tough one.
Oh, boy.
Man, this is a tough one. I don't know. I just don't know who. I got 4.
Yeah. Yep.
Sheesh.
Need one more.
I should have Googled some stuff. You know what? It's easy. It's easy. This is for you, Angelo, LL Cool J.
Of course.
There you go. There you go.
The GOAT.
Put some respect on his name. Put some respect on his name.
I
Period.
said Diddy, but I don't like his acting. I don't like his acting. Listen,
Yeah.
he was being himself. I didn't like it.
You don't have any? You ain't got any? You ain't got any? All right, okay. All right, I'll go with mine.
Oh, there you go.
You just, man, be quiet.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah. T.I. Clifford Harris. Oh yeah. 3 Stacks is in mine because he's another one that I thought that, I mean, I really thought that he was going to change the game also in the acting world, but I think again he's one of those that didn't want to, give in to the powers that be. Ludacris. Like I said, this last movie with the Queen, I haven't watched it yet, and I don't even want to watch it because I don't want to have a bad experience with Ludacris as an actor. Wow, man. LL would be number 2 for me, and then Will Smith would be number 1. Will Smith would be number 1 for me because that's 30 million a movie. So yeah, yeah. At 30 million, yeah. So yeah. He up there with Denzel money, bro. So
Right, he up there. I mean, he done took a little tumble, but he's still there.
hey man, when he kissed that dude in the hospital bed, he took off. Yeah, I forgot. I forgot the name of that movie. Was that
6
it?
degrees. Yeah.
That was
Yeah,
terrible.
when he kissed that
Yeah, that-
dude,
that
6 degrees of separation.
that's when his money took off.
That was one of the moves that a couple other people didn't want to,
Yeah.
you know.
It's probably why Mos Def ain't acting no more. No, I'm
Because if you notice, that was his first movie that catapulted him.
Yeah.
Before then, he didn't do no movies. He
Yeah.
just had a sitcom.
Yeah, that movie put him over the top.
Yeah.
That one little kiss, and the thing is, he didn't have to do a kiss. He just did a kiss. You know, there's a difference. There's a difference.
Yeah, I don't know if the kiss was the whole thing, but it was the whole gay thing. He just portrayed that role too well.
Hey. Now, did you see Holiday Heart? Okay, the show's over, right? I just want to.
You trying to watch that on BET? Your whole business, though. Why are you doing that? Go get Jody, mama.
All right, Angelo. We know who your number one
Y'all
is.
forgetting
but
somebody. I'm gonna tell y'all when Angelo done.
No, no. Hey, listen. Believe it or not, the GOAT is not actually the GOAT in that category. That's the one category he's not the GOAT at, but he's definitely in my top 5. So I'm gonna go Queen Latifah. I'm gonna go Tupac. I gotta go with that's not put in LL. You gotta put him in at number 3. Number 2, man, that's rough.
I could throw you an alley.
What you got?
Master
See if
P.
it's even on my.
Who?
Heck no.
Master P.
You probably was better
Now,
off
the
saying
debate
Snoop.
between DMX, I had DMX on my list because, you know, when he was doing them thing with Aaliyah and all that stuff, he was really blowing up.
Yeah. DMX.
Oh yeah.
But I gotta go number 1. Like Jae Tea just said, when you making 20-30 million a movie coming from the rap industry, and then had one of the best comedy series ever of all time as well, you know, gotta go Will Smith number 1.
Will Smith.
I'm surprised no one mentioned Snoop Dogg.
Snoop.
Why you
Snoop is
surprised?
good.
Yo, what about Nick Cannon?
Was he really a rapper?
Yeah, he started out rapping first, and then he went into comedy.
Yeah, but Sean, did he really?
I mean, Dwayne would have told him give up rapping.
But did he really?
Look,
Yeah.
when we have a
It'd be a mogul.
when we have a category that has the most shiny shoes, he's number 1.
Nick Cannon.
Nick Cannon? Yeah.
Yeah, he started out rapping.
That boy shoe game be glistening, boy.
Or when he more than $1 million shoes.
Yeah.
Straight glistening. Tupac and Queen, that would have to be
Master
my,
P.
That would have to be my honorable mentions. Actually, I think Luda would be an honorable mention, and Queen would be up in the mix.
Hey, cause she going hard on that her show. Yeah.
Y'all ain't like Na Na Na? You ain't like none of his movies?
No.
You didn't like Master P joints?
I mean, I like the movies, but if it had some real actors, it probably would have been a lot better. But yeah,
I enjoyed it at the time because we was watching it for the songs.
But he was still
all that.
acting.
look, and we was watching it because they only cost $5.
Yeah.
And he was on DVD.
I'm not going back to watch it. It's not. It's not a repeat. Friday was a repeat. I gotta watch Friday at least once a month.
Yeah,
That's one of my.
for
I gotta
Oh
repeat some-
man! Hey,
I didn't say Ice
listen.
Cube.
I was about to say I didn't take DMX off my list, man. Ice Cube.
There you go.
Ice Cube, yeah. I said Ice Cube earlier. You gotta have Ice Cube.
I thought when I wrote
Yeah,
it, I thought,
DMX is still an honorable mention. I can't believe I left Ice Cube off my list.
yeah.
No one said Bow Wow.
Bow Wow.
You know what I said, Bow Wow, but Ice Cube definitely.
Yo,
Yeah, how not miss Ice Cube?
but have y'all seen Bow Wow though on this new reality show he got and seen how much weight he gained?
I don't watch reality TV.
Dude, he is round.
Yeah,
Oh
he's-
my! I didn't look at the show, but seeing the commercial.
Me and Bow Wow got the
man,
same trainer.
What? He is. He is.
Yo,
Look,
round and
bruh,
round.
Look, you notice nobody called him Little Bow Wow in this
Nah,
room.
he just wow.
Just Bow Wow.
Bow Wow.
Husky.
All right, Angelo, we're not gonna hold you on the line, bro. If you want to go ahead and give your closing
Yeah,
remarks,
man.
you can.
No, I don't have any, man. Great show, fellas. Always a pleasure. I'll see you cats next week.
My man, travel
Blessings,
safely, bro.
Eastern blessings.
Hey, I know
Appreciate it,
I know
appreciate it.
something about those tickets tomorrow. She said she could put us on a 7:00 flight, but I'm saying, hey, let's wait for that 10.
Yeah. Don't wait too long, though. But I agree. All right, bro. Let me know.
All right.
All right. Peace, y'all.
Sugar Sean.
Yo, I'm inside, but I'm outside. Yeah, you know me, man. Yo, every Tuesday night it's picking up. It's nice to see the crowd out there. We picking up on a Tuesday night. You already know that's where you find me at the Uptown Comedy Corner. Each and every Tuesday, I'm right here in the building from 6:30 to 8:30. We rocking out. $5 funny, recession proof. I mean, I've just been working, and you just go to my Instagram, go to my page, and I got some things in the works that we got going on. So, we outside.
Facts.
That's what's up.
Michael, what you got, bro?
Michael Anthony. Y'all can catch me on Instagram at MYKOANT. It's my acting page. My barber page is Dixon Fades. That's DIXONFADEZ. Or you can catch me on Facebook as Michael Anthony, MYKO. Anthony spelled the regular way. So holla at your boy. And again, I'm pushing this brand. Black is beautiful in America. You can catch this at the 285 flea market.
All day, let's get it.
Hey, that sounds funny though, but it's real. Come holla, pull up on us.
For sure, man.
Holla at my man Kermit.
I just went to first time I went over to the what is it over there off Camilton Road? The
Oh
the
yeah.
big old discount mall, bro.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something.
Oh yeah.
I understand. I've always wondered how is these certain people you see with certain sneakers on. You go,
How did they
this
get
don't
that?
seem like they should have them sneakers.
Right.
I understand now. Went to the discount mall. They got everything in there. They got everything. in there.
Everything.
What's
They got
the
everything.
discount mall?
It's just the discount. It's a mall that's discounted.
it's the
So you mean when they sell
Camilton,
fake
it's
stuff or
on-
something?
Flea market.
Yeah, it's like a flea market.
Well, like fake stuff or something?
Yeah.
Oh, that stuff gonna fall apart.
Yeah.
I mean, it depends.
If you don't wear them every day, you can hold on to them for a minute. And as long as you don't walk on hard surfaces where they sound like shoes,
There's different levels of knots.
If you walk on dirt, nobody can hear.
Yeah, the discount mall. I never even heard of
Yeah,
this
when
thing.
you said that about 285, like I said, I'm still getting used to my new area that I live in, so I'm starting to venture out into the neighborhood and find my little spots where I can get some stuff on discount. Y'all might see my game change coming up here.
Joints might fall apart,
I might
man.
be shining in here, but
trying
if
to
you
tell
see
you.
me shining, my chain would be over my shirt so it doesn't bleed on my skin.
Oh no, don't go that route, Jae Tea.
Hey man,
Don't do it.
I see the black chain over
listen,
the shirt.
now this one is good. This one's good.
Okay.
This one's good. This one's good. See, when it's small like this, is good. Now when they hanging all the way down here, just know I ain't pay all that for it.
You get the good
So,
stuff, it lasts longer, man.
It's called costume jewelry. That's what it's called. But listen, but But listen, man, Shell of a Man stage play. My man Michael is also one of the leading actors in the play.
Yes.
January 8th. It is in Marietta. Do you remember the name of the venue?
It is. Oh my goodness.
Go on Eventbrite, put in Shell of a Man 2023, and yeah, you can get those tickets. As you can see, if you're looking at the screen right now, you see the commercial. Say it again. Allied.
That's right.
Highlight Studios. Yes, January 8th. 7 men giving out certain issues in their life that affects the people around them. This play is for men, but we also want women to come see it because usually a character that you see in this play is somebody that you know.
Yeah.
And it might help you to recognize certain characteristics so that you can actually, talk to them about help, talk to them about healing, feeling, and recognizing what's going on with themselves. So pretty proud of the play. We're about to get on the road, so you need to get it while it's in Atlanta still, January 8th.
Jump on this.
Hey, and I'm going to tell you right now, his scene is the most powerful scene in the play.
I enjoy his scene.
His scene is the most powerful in the play. I promise you. If it's your first time coming, because we got people that come every time, you will leave with a different perspective on people that's been through certain situations.
Yeah.
It's dope, and it's deep. It's seriously deep. So yeah, January 8th, Shell of a Man. Like I said, I got some other things in the works, but I can't talk about it just yet. You know how that go.
Yep.
And I think that's gonna do it, fellas. I appreciate y'all sitting in with me, man.
Yes, sir.
We getting up out of here.
We had a good time.
Had a good time. I can actually go home and not feel bad about sitting having a cigar with my wife and looking at a movie because I'm getting out here early. Usually I leave out here at 1, 2 o'clock. Need to get out here before it start raining though, because when it rain down here, we can't leave. So yeah, Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo.
Right.
And as a
We
cop.
out. Dig?
With JT and Lo, you never know which way to rap. Classic conversations with JT and Lo. You never know which way to rap. The record's gonna go. Classic conversations with JT and Lo. Classic conversations with JT and Lo. You never know which way to rap. The record's gonna go. Classic conversations with JT and Lo. You never know which way to rap. Classic conversations with JT and Lo. You never know which way to rap. The record's gonna go. It's classic conversations with JT and Lo. You never know which way to rap. The record's gonna classic conversations with JT and Lo. You never know which way to rap. The record's gonna go. It's classic conversations with JT and Lo. You never know which way to rap. Classic conversations with JT and Lo. Classic conversations with JT and Lo. You never know which way to rap. Classic conversations with JT and Lo. You never know which way to rap. The record's gonna go. Classic conversations with JT and Lo. Classic conversations with JT and Lo. You never know which way to rap. The record's gonna go. Classic conversations with JT and Lo. You never know which way to rap. Classic conversations with JT and Lo. You never know which way to rap. The record's gonna go. Classic conversations with JT and Lo. You never know which way to rap. The record's gonna classic conversations with JT and Lo. You never know which way to rap. The record's gonna go. Classic conversations with JT and Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is going. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo.